Plenty of excitement at the ballpark yesterday and this afternoon. Virginia looking to take a series from the visiting Florida State Seminoles. A 3-2 win in 10 innings yesterday. And today it is the Wahoos and Noles once again as we bring you back to Davenport Field at Desharoon Park. Hi again, folks. Channing Poole here with you in Charlottesville, Virginia. We're under cloudy skies, but thankfully the rain has made its way out of the area, and knock on wood that it stays that way, up to 63 degrees and set for baseball now on a Saturday afternoon in Central Virginia. The Hoos, again, it took extra innings to get it done, but victorious over the Noles to stay unbeaten at home this season. Virginia sitting at 14-0 in front of the home fans this year, and dating back to last season have now won 15 consecutive games at this ballpark. Improving to 5-2 in league play with yesterday's win, and now taking on a Seminoles team who have lost 4 straight and sitting at 3-4 in ACC play and just 12-10 now overall, having dropped out of the top 25 coming off of last week. For Virginia, Brian Edgington will take the ball and make the start. He's been excellent. And first things first, let's run through the batting order he will face off against, as put together by Florida State's first-year head coach, Link Jarrett, the National Coach of the Year last year, according to the National Collegiate Baseball Writers, for what he did at Notre Dame in leading the Fighting Irish to their third ever College World Series appearance. 3 years in South Bend, and now his first year at his alma mater, Florida State. For the Seminoles, same 9 guys as yesterday, albeit in some different spots in the lineup. Once again, leading off is the center fielder, Diamez Ross. Ben Barrett now in the 2 spot. He plays first base. It'll be James Tibbs batting third. Tibbs is the left fielder. Jaime Ferrer, the designated hitter, bats cleanup, with Trayton Rank in the 5 spot today playing right field. It'll be Cam Smith down in the 6th spot at third base. Vander DeSatis, the second baseman, hits 7th. Jordan Carrion slided down in the 8th spot today. Carrion plays shortstop. And batting 9th to round out the order and doing the catching for FSU is Colton Vincent. Once again for the Seminoles, it goes Ross, Barrett, Tibbs, the top third. Middle third is Ferrer, Rank, Smith. And the bottom third of DeSatis, Carrion, and Vincent. That lineup is all against Virginia's Brian Edgington, the grad transfer right-hander, coming to UVA by way of Elon. And Hatboro, Pennsylvania native, makes his 6th start of the year. 2 of his prior 5 have been quality starts. And Edgington on the season, a 1.98 ERA to go with his perfect 4-0 record. 27 1/3 innings of work. Edgington has struck out 30 batters, and he has walked only 8. Opponents are hitting .228 against him. He's allowed 23 hits over the 27 1/3 innings he has worked on the year. So again, Edgington, the right-hander for Virginia, making start number 6. 6 foot tall, 200-pound righty, wears number 36 for UVA. Again, cloudy skies overhead, but supposedly the rain is done for the day. Hope that is indeed the case. First pitch to Diamez Ross, lined out towards short, caught by O'Farrell, who went down to a knee to make sure that he secured it, watching it all the way into the glove. And a first pitch fastball that was lined to short. We are underway at 4:04 this afternoon in Charlottesville. 63 degrees, again, cloudy skies. Light banks are on, even though hopefully the sun is going to make an appearance before too long here. And we might get up closer to 70 degrees over the next hour or so. Ben Barrett is the batter now, right-hand hitting first baseman for the Seminoles. Edgington's pitch is swung on, fouled away right side and out of play. Another fastball from the righty Edgington, and it's 0-1. The concourse walkway on either side of the overhang, that darker shade because of all the rain that has fallen on the surface throughout the morning and early afternoon. The 0-1 pitch now. Breaking ball down, 1 ball, 1 strike. And you might imagine that the outfield grass is also still a little bit damp because it actually rained later into the afternoon than anticipated. And so now Edgington back into the windup. His 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Good slider that had Barrett over top of it. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. And Edgington stretches out the arms, peering over the top of that light tan glove, deals. 1-2, strike 3 called. Right there at the bottom of the zone, Barrett is frozen, and Edgington has his first strikeout of the ball game. Well, again, Edgington's numbers phenomenal. 30 strikeouts over 27 and a third innings, better than a strikeout an inning. And having only walked 8 over his first 5 starts. 2 outs, base is clear. And the batter for Florida State is James Tibbs. Left-hand hitter and left fielder for FSU. Upright stance from the left side of the plate. Edgington deals and missed off the plate away with a first pitch changeup, 1-0. Infield shifting to the pull side. 3 infielders to the right of second base. Set that defense for you in a second for Virginia. There's now the 1-0 pitch from Edgington. Righty kicks, deals. Swinging a line drive left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit, possibly extra bases. Didowick over to cut it off, and in the gap, he'll fire back to second, but Tibbs is going to slide in safely with a 2-out double. Didowick at least made it interesting by cutting it off in the gap, not letting it get to the wall, but still Tibbs is in there fairly easily at second with his now 6th double of the year. And the batter is Jaime Ferrer. Defensively for Virginia today, Kyle Teal, the catcher and battery mate for Brian Edgington. Infield third to first of Jake Geloff at third. Griff O'Farrell, the shortstop. Henry Godbout once again at second. Ethan Anderson is at first base. The pitch to Ferrer. Bounced it in, blocked by Teal. As Tibbs trots back to second. 1-0 the count. The outfield left to right for the Hoos has Harrison Didowick in left field. Ethan O'Donnell, the center fielder, and Casey Sauke is in right field to complete that Cavalier defense. Runner at second with 2 outs. Florida State scored one of their 2 runs in the first inning yesterday. 1 in the first, 1 in the 9th. The 1-0, swing and a miss. Another off-speed pitch diving down and out of the zone that had Ferrer swinging over top of it, and it's 1-1. The 4 and 5 hitters in the Seminoles lineup today were the 2 guys that had multi-hit days yesterday. Ferrer went 2 for 5. Rank, who waits on deck now, went 2 for 4 with a double. The 1-1 pitch. Little spinner back to the mound. Gets past the glove of Edgington. O'Farrell will field and have no play at first. Edgington looked like it was going to be a routine play, and he just sort of whiffed it as it rolled underneath his glove, trying to backhand it on the third base side of the mound. Ball rolling right over top of the mound, and it had some weird spin on it, but he went to backhand it, and it just went right under his glove. Only taking really half a step to his right. And one of those plays that'll go down as an infield single, although obviously Edgington would tell you he should have made that play. Now the batter is Trayton Rank. Runners at the corners and a line drive left field base hit. The Seminoles, just as they did yesterday, are on the board in the first. And it's runners at first and second, 2 outs. As first pitch swinging, Jaime Ferrer, or Trayton Rank, I should say, drives home James Tibbs as Ferrer is now in scoring position at second, and the threat continues for Florida State. That is for Rank, RBI number 6 on the year. And first pitch breaking ball missing down and away to Cam Smith. So 1 ball, no strikes. And again, that makes the missed ground ball harder to swallow as Virginia had a chance to get out of the inning. On that weak contact from Jaime Ferrer. The 1-0 pitch, a slider over the outside edge, and the count evening up now at a ball and a strike. Threat not over yet. Florida State still with Ferrer at second and Rank at first. And Edgington from the belt looks back at second. Now to the plate, his 1-1. Fastball up and out. 2 balls, 1 strike now to Cam Smith. And again, not exactly the prettiest of base hits for Ferrer, but he had 2 of them yesterday and another one today. And Rank, who did the most damage for FSU yesterday, not just 2 hits, but the only extra base hit for Florida State yesterday. His RBI single has them on the board. Breaking ball outside. And it's quickly 3 balls and a strike now to Cam Smith, and a hitter's count to Smith. Hitting at just .250 on the season, but 4 homers and 12 runs batted in. And Florida State again already leading 1-0 here in the top of the first. And the pitch. That catches the top of the zone for a called strike. 3-2. I don't think that's where Edgington intended for that changeup to end up, but he did catch plenty of the zone, even as it was at the top of the zone, and frankly, a hittable pitch for Smith. Now, with 2 outs and a full count, the runners will be off with the pitch. Ferrer from second and Rank from first. There they go, and the pitch is swung on and bounced foul towards Virginia's dugout. A foul ball to keep the count full at 3-2. And back to second goes Ferrer. Rank back to first. Already 1-0 Seminoles, all with 2 outs. Tibbs doubled, Ferrer singled, Rank singled. And so Edgington trying to halt this 2-out rally right here. There go the runners. The payoff. Lifted right side, slicing foul. Anderson giving chase up to the short wall, but runs out of room. It's about 5 rows deep in the chairback seats that overlook the field level club seating. And an extended battle now between Cam Smith and Brian Edgington. Nander DeSatis would be next for FSU. See if Edgington can get out of this jam. Another payoff pitch to come. The 3-2 now from Brian Edgington. Runners go, and it's reached for and fouled straight back. And Smith really making Edgington work in this first inning that has turned into a bit of a labor for the right-hander Edgington. And again, it was 2 very quick outs. Ross lining out in the first pitch of the game. Barrett struck out looking. But since then, 3 consecutive hits, and the Noles have the lead. The 3-2 again. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Went back to the fastball. Smith could not catch up. A couple of strikeouts in the inning for Edgington, but the Seminoles strike first. A 1-0 Florida State lead on the RBI single for Trayton Rank. And Virginia will have some work to do when we come back. After 1/2 inning of play, Florida State 1, Virginia 0. Cavalier offense set to go to work when we return. Virginia chasing a run already as we go to the bottom of the first inning, 1-0 FSU. And here's the lineup put together today by head coach Brian O'Connor, now in his 20th season at the helm. If it sounds familiar, identical to yesterday and what Virginia used for the 3-2 win in 10 innings. Leading off, the shortstop, Griff O'Farrell. Hitting second and playing center field is Ethan O'Donnell. It's Jake Geloff batting third and playing third base. With Kyle Teal, the cleanup man, he does the catching. Ethan Anderson at first base bats fifth. Hitting sixth, and in right field, Casey Sauke. Anthony Stefan once again is the designated hitter. Stefan will bat seventh. Henry Godbout at second base hits eighth, and batting ninth to round out the order for Virginia. And playing left field, Harrison Didowick. Again, the top third for Virginia goes O'Farrell, O'Donnell, Geloff. Middle third is Teal, Anderson, Sauke. And the bottom third of Stefan, Godbout, and Didowick. That lineup all against Florida State's Ryan Dennison, who misses inside with a fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. Dennison, who is making his 9th appearance overall in his second start, his first weekend start. The 1-0. O'Farrell takes down. 2 balls, no strikes. Dennison, a 1-3 record, a 3.29 earned run average. He has thrown 13 2/3 innings, 14 strikeouts, 6 walks, and 14 hits allowed. Next one bounced out towards short, easy hop for Jordan Carrion, throws to first, and there's one away as O'Farrell is retired, grounding out to his counterpart. And now Ethan O'Donnell for Virginia, left-hand hitter to face the right-hander and Ryan Dennison. Dennison out of Tampa and went to Jesuit High School. The pitch to O'Donnell, swung on and lined straight back to the backstop. He was on that 91-mile-an-hour fastball right at the top of the zone, and it's 0-1. Dennison, 6'4", 220-pound righty, wears number 31 for the Seminoles. A one hit right back to the mound, bounces off the glove of Dennison, but he has plenty of time to recover and throw out O'Donnell 1-3. Sort of, don't mean this to sound the wrong way, but sort of a standard right-hander, Ryan Dennison. I mean, the fastball will be 90-91. Slider and a changeup, sort of the prototypical stock right-hander, and this is a bit of an advanced opportunity for Dennison. They obviously like his future, but this is earlier than they would have expected him to be in this role. 91-mile-an-hour fastball misses outside, and it's 1-0. He has made one prior start. That was a midweek start against UCF, and he lasted just 2 2/3 innings. Breaking ball strike to Geloff, and it's 1-1. 2 2/3 innings back on Wednesday, March the 15th, in a 6-3 loss to UCF. He took the loss. As the next one skips in, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run that was earned. Walked 2, struck out 3, and threw 55 pitches. The most pitches he has thrown in a game this season, 62. The 2-1 pitch now, outside 3-1, and was told before the game that can expect that the absolute max would be 70 for Dennison today, but see if he even gets to that number. 3 different times this season he has thrown 50 or more pitches in a game. 3-1 way outside, ball 4. Wanting no part of Geloff there, and a 2-out walk to give some light to Virginia. Little light as well as the sun finally peeking out, throwing that at bat from between the clouds. If only for a brief moment, but hopefully we'll get to a point where it'll turn into a sun-splashed Saturday afternoon. Pretty decent crowd bundled up for the moment in what has been a sort of dreary Saturday morning and early afternoon. Now Kyle Teal, the batter, takes it outside. First pitch changeup from Dennison that missed off the plate away, 1-0. Teal 2 for 5 in yesterday's ball game and hitting at .453 for the season to pace Virginia. Team leading 39 hits on the year for Kyle Teal, including 2 yesterday. Watches the next one wide. 2 balls, no strikes. That'll prompt a visit from the catcher, Colton Vincent, going out to chat with Ryan Dennison as the shortstop Carry-On will join that chat. Dennison, last time out, worked 2 1/3 innings against Boston College in the Sunday game last weekend. That was out of the bullpen. Mentioned he had started the Wednesday prior in a midweek loss in Orlando against UCF. But Sunday, he worked 2 1/3 innings, allowing a season-high 3 runs and throwing a season-high 62 pitches in that game. 3 runs on 3 hits, walked 2, and also struck out 2 Boston College Eagles in a game that BC won 8-2. Hitters count for Teal, 2 balls, no strikes. Following the mound visit, and he misses outside again with a fastball. That one touching 92, as high as Dennison will go. 3 balls, no strikes to Kyle Teal. Jake Geloff at first with 2 outs. 1-0 Florida State. Can Virginia put together a 2-out rally of their own? Teal a big swing and comes up empty. Borderline pitch there, and I would say there's a chance that Teal even helped out Dennison, especially considering how many consecutive pitches he had thrown out of the strike zone now, that maybe home plate umpire John Mang would not have given him the benefit of the doubt. Borderline pitch, though. Now 3 balls and a strike to Kyle Teal. Righty deals, swing, and a ball lined foul left side out of play, and the count now full at 3-2, which means Jake Geloff will get a head start from first. Florida State stringing together 3 consecutive hits in the top of the first to take a 1-0 lead. And a payoff pitch now to Kyle Teal. There goes Geloff. Swing, and he fouled it back again. As Geloff trots back to first base. the right-hander, Dennison, trying to get out of this inning unscathed. Can Teal turn this into a 2-out rally for Virginia? With Geloff at first, held on there by Ben Barrett. There he goes again, the payoff. Outside, ball 4. Changeup missed way out of the strike zone. I think that's 3 times he's thrown that pitch, and none of them have been anywhere close. He spiked one, and the other couple have faded way out of the strike zone. Starting out of the zone and just fading further away. So that puts runners at first and second with 2 outs. Now for Ethan Anderson. Defensively for Florida State, Colton Vincent, the catcher and battery mate for Ryan Dennison. The infield third to first of Cam Smith at third. Jordan Carey on the shortstop. Nander DeSatis plays second. Ben Barrett at first. Anderson takes a fastball, generous outside corner there for a strike, 0-1. That ball looked a good bit off the outside edge, but John Mang gives him the call, and it's 0-1. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. And the next one from Dennison, way outside, 1-1. Outfield left to right for Florida State of James Tibbs in left field. Diamez Ross, the center fielder, and Trayton Rank is in right field to complete that FSU defense. Again for Virginia, Geloff at second, Teal at first with 2 outs in this first inning. Virginia trails 1-0 very early. The 1-1. Anderson hits it back up the middle. That's through for a base hit. Around third, heading home comes Geloff. The throw from Ross will go back into second base. Virginia ties it up at 1 apiece. An RBI single from Ethan Anderson. It's the Who's 1 and the Seminoles 1 as Virginia answering right back with a 2-out rally of their own. Over to third base on the play went Teal. And Anderson picks up RBI number 21 on the year. So now, can Sauke put Virginia in front? Potential go-ahead run, 90 feet away at third. They're at the corners with 2 outs. Tied at 1 now in the home half of the first. The pitch. And a breaking ball upstairs. And it's 1-0. Sauke had a 2-for-5 yesterday. 5 different Cavaliers starters had multi-hit games. O'Farrell, O'Donnell, Teal, Sauke, and Godbout. Long hold, the 1-0. Down and away, 2 balls, no strikes. In a game that only saw Virginia put up 3 runs, and in fact, of those 3, only 1 was an earned run charged to the FSU staff. Virginia did string together 11 hits in the game, and so, you know, again, the opportunities were there for Virginia. It was just a matter of capitalizing on those chances. As Virginia, in yesterday's game, trying to get the final tally in terms of runners left on base, and Virginia finished with 8 runners left in scoring position. So, you know, again, 3 runs might have felt like a frustrating day offensively, but the chances were certainly there. And, you know, 11 hits, another day that the offense doing its thing, and a number of guys contributing. It's a visit to the mound from the first-year pitching coach and Chuck Ristano, who came with Link Jarrett from Notre Dame to FSU. Hitters count for Casey Sauke, 2 balls, no strikes. Teal at third, he walked. Anderson at first, his RBI single. 21st RBI of the year that tied up the game at 1-1. Now we'll see if 2-0 pitch, Sauke gets something to hit. He does, bounces it left side, but picked by the third baseman, Smith. Do-or-die pick, he makes the play, goes the short route to second base, 5-4 in the fielder's choice. And the inning is over. So Virginia will leave a couple of men on base, but tie up the ball game. And after 1 complete, it's Virginia 1, Florida State 1. Cavaliers and Seminoles exchanging runs in the first inning. And as we go to the top of the second, Brian Edgington back to the mound, and he will face the bottom third of the lineup for FSU. Nander DeSatis, Jordan Carrion, and Colton Vincent, and actually almost identical innings when you really think about it for the two teams, with both teams scoring the one run and also putting together their rallies with two outs from scratch. First couple of batters retired for each team in the first, and then the two-out rallies started, and both teams end up leaving a couple of men on base when the first inning comes to a close. Change up from Edgington to start Nander DeSatis, 0-1. DeSatis, redshirt senior second baseman, with Carrion and Vincent to follow. Now the grad transfer Edgington kicks, deals, and a fastball off the plate away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Edgington, 6th year senior out of Hatboro Horsham High School in Pennsylvania. And Edgington, his 4th different school in the 6 years. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a foul ball back. Changeup off the end of the bat by DeSatis. Safe to say Edgington has found a home here, as he has been downright exceptional for Virginia this season. Starting in the second game of weekends, but he has become the ace of the staff with what he has done statistically and also just consistently. The 1-2 pitch now from Edgington. Reached for and fouled off the end of the bat. Another changeup from Edgington, and DeSatis got just enough to spoil it and see another one off the cap of the bat and bouncing over towards Virginia's dugout off the third baseline. 1 ball, 2 strikes as Edgington kicks the leg again. The pitch. Swinging a ball lifted center field. O'Donnell goes back a few steps and makes a one-handed grab. 2 or 3 steps in front of the warning track in straightaway center. And there's one away in this second inning. Now Jordan Carrion, again mentioned for FSU, same personnel but in different spots in the order. And Carrion, one of those guys, moved from the 6th spot to the 8th spot for today's game. Trayton Rank moves from the 8th spot up to the 5 spot. Ben Barrett goes from the cleanup spot to the 2 spot. So Link Jarrett jumbling the order, although keeping the same 9 guys in the mix. 1 out, base is clear, is now Carrion the batter. Hitting at .300 on the season. No homers, 19 RBIs. Open stance on the right side of the plate. And the pitch from Edgington is a fastball at the knees for a called strike. 0-1. Carrion 0 for 5 yesterday. Tough day for Carrion. But again, just a couple of guys with multi-hit games and only 1 extra base hit all told for FSU. Pitch is swung on, lifted down the right field line. Sauke giving chase into a slide and could not come up with it. Heck of an effort from Sauke. Ball just bounced away from him down in that Florida State bullpen area. So the count 0-2 on Carrion. And Edgington now back into the windup. The 0-2 missed outside. Not a bad idea with that slider starting over the outside edge and then running off the outside corner. But could not induce a chase from Jordan Carrion. And now Edgington back to work. The 1-2 from the right-hander. Swing and a miss. He went right on right change, and Carrion swings over top of it. Strikeout number 3 for Brian Edgington in the ball game. So an inning and 2/3 and already 3 strikeouts for Edgington. You know, and again, Edgington has been piling up the strikeouts, better than a strikeout an inning. Only 4 of them last time out against NC State over a season-high 6 1/3, but the 10 strikeout game against Rhode Island, 9 strikeouts the week before that against Columbia. Fastball at the knees called a strike. 0-1 to Colton Vincent. Switch hitter batting left against the right-hander Edgington. 2 outs, bases empty, tied at 1 in this second inning. And the pitch from Edgington. Swing and a miss. Good changeup. Vincent out in front of it. No balls, 2 strikes the count. See if Edgington can make it back-to-back Ks. It'll be big to see also finishing off this second inning after getting the first couple of outs quickly in the first. Pitch misses just off the plate away. Not a bad idea with that changeup. But could not get a left-hand hitting Vincent to chase. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now the count. Edgington, a big deep breath, stretches out the arms. Now into the windup. His 1-2, swinging a little tapper foul, bounced up and got the bat a second time while Vincent was still in the batter's box. And the count remains a ball and 2 strikes to the redshirt senior catcher, Colton Vincent. 0 for 2 with a walk in yesterday's ball game before being pinch hit for by McGuire Holbrook. As again, Edgington deals, and a swing and a ball skied center field. Starting back now, racing in on it, O'Donnell, but he is under it, makes a one-handed grab high above his head, and the inning is over. Exactly what Edgington was looking for, a 1-2-3 second inning of work. At the end of 1 1/2 innings of play, still Virginia 1, Florida State 1. Anthony Stephan to lead things off for Virginia as we go to the bottom of the second inning in a tie ball game. The Hoos won, the Seminoles won. Stephan, Godbout, and Didewick, bottom third of the lineup against the right-hander Ryan Dennison. And now the pitch, up and away, 1 ball, no strikes. Fastball high and outside at 91 from the freshman right-hander Ryan Dennison. Now back into the windup, his next pitch taken low. And the count 2-0 on Anthony Stephan. 0 for 2 in yesterday's ball game. And the righty deals. Down and in, 3 balls, no strikes. Stephan enters today, 7 hits in 19 at-bats, making another start for Virginia, his 6th start of the year. Taken all the way, and a fastball misses up high for ball 4. And I'll tell you what, I think even Stephan thought that was in the zone, but not the case according to John Mang. And so a 4-pitch walk to start the inning. You know, and again, it did look like it caught the zone, but when a guy like Dennison has been out of the zone more than he's been in it, tough to get the benefit of the doubt. Godbout attacking the first pitch fastball, fouls it off to the right side, and the count 0-1. Virginia 1, Florida State 1 in the second. Godbout 2 for 3 with a triple yesterday. Also hit by a pitch. He was on base 3 times. Runner at first base, nobody out. The 0-1 pitch. Swinging a line drive, center field, sinking in a hurry, and is down in front of the center fielder, Ross. A 1 out, or beg your pardon, a single for Godbout with nobody out to put runners at first and second. and start a rally for the Who's with nobody out. A little different variety than last inning when they did their damage with 2 outs in the inning. And now Harrison Didowick will be the batter, and a long look down at third base coach Kevin McMullen. Didowick, who has 3 sacrifice bunts on the season to lead the team and out of the 9 spot. Another visit now. We saw 1 last inning from the catcher, Vincent, 1 from the pitching coach, Chuck Restano, and now another from Colton Vincent. The entire infield's going to join the chat. And the right-hander throwing is Carson Montgomery. And, you know, I would think that most people looking at this weekend would have expected Montgomery to have started today for Florida State. He had made 5 prior starts on the year, had been a member of their weekend rotation all year long, but not this weekend. And now he's the first man up in the bullpen. Didowick squaring very early in the meantime, following the conference, takes a fastball wide, and it's 1-0. And Dennison making just his 2nd career start, his first weekend start for the righty from Tampa, who has thrown far more balls than strikes. 18 balls, 12 strikes right now. The 1-0. Didowick pulls it back, takes ball 2. Same spot, same result. A fastball off the outside corner. So 2 balls, no strikes now to Didowick. For Virginia, Stefan at second base. Godbout at first with nobody out. And the pitch, he pulls it first base side, a good bunt handled by the first baseman Barrett, who will slap a tag on Didowick as he makes his way up the line, but a successful sacrifice, team-leading 4th sack bunt of the year for Harrison Didowick. That puts Stefan at third, Godbout at second with just 1 out. Top of the order now, and O'Farrell and a chance to capitalize. And O'Farrell, who grounded out his first time up, is, it looks like, not going to be facing Ryan Dennison. So, again, said that 70 pitches today would be an absolute cap, and he comes nowhere near that mark. Throwing just 32 pitches, and Link Jarrett's going to go get the baseball from him after an inning and a third. So, sort of putting Florida State behind the 8 ball here. It's going to take some very heavy lifting out of the bullpen. But he walked 3 over an inning and a third, and that's not the start that FSU was hoping for. There's the sign, and so, again, Montgomery, who's been a starter all year long, is going to come in out of the bullpen today. And a bit of a change of pace. So we'll see how he does in this different role. Right now tied at 1, bottom of the 2nd, but Virginia has runners at 2nd and 3rd with just 1 out. Griff O'Farrell going to try to put the Who's in front for the first time today. He'll be at the plate when we come back here in the 2nd. Virginia 1, Florida State 1. Well, he has been in their weekend rotation all year long, and now Carson Montgomery takes over out of the bullpen. The sophomore out of Windermere, Florida, in this second inning with Virginia threatening. Tie ball game. Virginia won, Florida State won, but the Hoos have runners at second and third with just one out in the inning. Top of the order now, and Griff O'Farrell to face Montgomery out of Windermere, Florida, and Windermere High School, 6'3", 215-pound junior. And a breaking ball misses upstairs, 1-0, slider from Montgomery. He has excellent stuff, but corralling that stuff has been the issue. 19 innings, he's walked 12. He has struck out 20, and opponents hitting .303 against him this season. 1-0 misses outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Another slider off the plate away. O'Farrell, who has 14 RBIs in the season, golden opportunity to add to that number here. Second and third, just one out. The 2-0 pitch. Inside, and did it get him? No, it just missed the jersey of Griff O'Farrell on its way in. And the count 3-0 now to Virginia's shortstop. He grounded out to shortstop his first time up. Montgomery primarily a starter last year. 15 appearances, 12 starts. The 3-0. That's at the knees, called a strike. O'Farrell was ready to toss the bat, but called back as a fastball at 94 right at the bottom of the zone. Montgomery has an exceptional arm. He'll top out at 96. But, again, command has been a little bit suspect. 3-1, fouled off his front foot. Running in, maybe off the plate, but close enough for O'Farrell. And the count now full at 3-2. And Montgomery, again, a guy who can pile up some strikeouts. Last year made relief appearances against Wake, Jacksonville, and Duke, but primarily a starter and has been a starter all of this year as well. Next one bounced in. That's ball 4 as O'Farrell watches a breaking ball. And that will load up the bases now for Ethan O'Donnell. And Montgomery, who I had said yesterday, as Florida State had gone TBA for the rest of the weekend in terms of probable starters, I thought Montgomery was the front runner to start today. And then when he wasn't the guy today, thought, all right, must be tomorrow. But now they've just completely flipped the script. Pitch to O'Donnell, way outside, 1-0. That is the 4th combined walk for FSU pitching here. We are in the bottom of the second inning. 3 from starter Ryan Dennison, who is responsible for Stefan at third, Godbout at second base. Bases loaded, 1 out, the pitch. O'Donnell lines it foul back into the netting behind home plate, right next to Jake Geloff in the on-deck circle. So 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Montgomery, an 0-1 record, an ERA up over 7 this season. The 1-1, swing and a miss. And it's, again, kind of like yesterday with running through the numbers for the starter Jackson Baumeister. With the stuff that he's got, it's sort of confounding that the numbers are not better. The 1-2, swing and a miss. He struck him out. And, this is what these guys can do. I mean, they've got such power stuff. It somewhat boggles the mind that the strikeout numbers aren't even better. And I guess for Baumeister, they're pretty darn good. But, the elevated ERA and opponent's batting average, it's confusing as hard as these guys throw. And with the plus secondary stuff, Geloff, a swing and a miss at a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. I mean, we're talking about guys in both Baumeister and now Montgomery that sit 94, 95 with the fastball and have good breaking pitches as well. The 0-1, bases loaded, 2 outs. Outside corner, strike 2 called at 95. Well, after the 8th inning that saw Virginia load the bases with nobody out and fail to score, would be a tough pill to swallow. Again, coming up empty in a bases loaded situation here. The 0-2. Bounced it in, bounces away from the catcher. Here comes the runner from third. Stefan is going to be tagged out at the plate. Just ahead of his hand getting in. He is called out by home plate umpire John Mang. And Virginia trying to test it. Stefan scampering in. The ball bouncing away from the catcher. Vincent pushed up the third base line. And Virginia is going to review it. And initial look at the replay, I think they got him. The tag went down well before Stefan got to the plate, but the only question from the initial look was, did he miss the tag altogether? And from the first look that we saw, the second look did not give any indication as to whether or not a tag was actually applied. And to be honest, without one of those looks that they have in Major League Baseball from straight over the top, looking directly down on home plate almost, you know, I don't see how they're going to say from this replay that at no point did Montgomery make contact with Stefan. Although, I mean, there's certainly a shadow of a doubt. No, there's no doubt that there's a chance he didn't touch it, but I just don't know how you're going to say that from the replay that we've seen. I don't know how they're going to say that he didn't get the tag on him. And again, that's where the initial call being out, I have to believe this is going to stand as initially called. And, you know, again, Virginia, you just hope that these missed opportunities don't come back to bite. To credit to Virginia yesterday, Brian O'Connor was talking after the game about the mindset that he could sense in the dugout. That after that eighth inning, that, you know, obviously could be hugely deflating to a team. You load the bases with no outs and don't score. Well, yesterday he said that going into the ninth, Virginia, the feeling he had was they were still taking it as in, hey, another inning, we have another opportunity to score. And Virginia did exactly that. Even down to their final out, Virginia able to rally and tie the game in the bottom of the ninth and then win it in walk-off fashion in the bottom of the 10th. And they've shown now a third angle that I think makes it look more like Montgomery missed the tag initially and did not get the glove to the body until Stefan had touched the plate. But again, you know, if I'm the officials watching the replay, I don't think it is 100% definitive that you could overturn what was the initial call. And he's out. The umpires come back, and again, I just don't see how the replay was going to be anything other than the call stands, and that is the case. So Virginia loads the bases with one out, but failed to score in the second. And after two complete, it's Virginia 1, Florida State 1. 93rd all-time matchup between Virginia and Florida State this afternoon. Middle game of the three-game series after the extra inning win for Virginia in yesterday's ball game. Here as we go to the third, tied at 1, and for FSU, the top of the lineup, Diamez Ross, Ben Barrett, and James Tibbs. Second go-round now against the right-hander Brian Edgington, and his first pitch misses down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Virginia loading the bases with 1 out last half inning, but failed to score, leaving some meat on the bone. And now see if Edgington can toss up another 0 for the Hoos. The pitch fouled back, and it's 1-1. Now under blue skies overhead, still some fluffy clouds off in the distance, but all of the gray and drizzle that has been present throughout most of the day seems to finally have subsided. Up to 65 degrees now, feeling like a nice spring afternoon. Pitch up and away, 2 balls, 1 strike. To Diamez Ross, who lined out on the very first pitch of the ball game to the shortstop O'Farrell. After Ross, Barrett, and Tibbs. 2 balls, 1 strike, and the pitch now from the grad transfer Brian Edgington. Up and away, 3 balls and 1 strike. Mentioned 93rd all-time meeting. Florida State has the upper hand all-time. 61 wins to Virginia's 31 wins in the prior 92 matchups. But, you know, a lot of that is going back to a time when Florida State was perennially the best or one of the best teams in the entire country. Pitch is lifted down that left field line in foul territory, and Bermuda Triangle of Geloff, O'Farrell, and Didowick converge on it, but it's out of the reach of all 3 of them. And how to run the count full to Ross at 3-2. Talking about an FSU team that has made 44 consecutive NCAA tournament appearances going back to 1978. Obviously no 2020 NCAA tournament, but the streak kept alive. And a Florida State team that has gone to the College World Series 23 times. Most recently in 2019, and obviously, as you would expect, that number amongst the most. Texas with the most all-time. The 3-2 pitch. Swinging a ball lifted out towards left field. Didowick shading his eyes as he goes back. Reaches up and makes a nice running catch. Tracking down that fly ball from Diamez Ross, and there's 1 away in the 3rd inning. Not an easy play as the cloud cover makes way. This is time of day when it's pretty tough on the left and center fielders to track the baseball with where the sun is positioned. And now all the glare with the very bright Saturday afternoon it has turned into. Ben Barrett, the batter, he was called out on strikes his first time up. Right-hand hitter fouls it back, and the count 0-1. Edgington again, after allowing the 1 run in the first inning, bounced back with a 1-2-3 second inning. See if he can replicate that here in the 3rd. The right-hander's 0-1. Fastball at the knees, called strike 2. 0-2. 92-mile-an-hour fastball right at the bottom of the zone. And Barrett, the freshman, who might be the guy starting on the mound tomorrow for Florida State, the 0-2. Bounced in a slider, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. He started their midweek game for FSU on Tuesday against Florida. They actually have consecutive midweek games against the 3rd-ranked Gators. Tough draw for FSU right now, as Florida is hot as anybody. The 1-2 pitch from Edgington. Breaking ball, missed outside, 2-2. Dropped it to Florida 9-5 on Tuesday night. They will play the neutral site game in Jacksonville this coming Tuesday night, and then will host the Gators later this season. The pitch, swinging a bouncing ball right side. Big hop. Anderson has it kick off the heel of his glove. And safely aboard at first, Ben Barrett. Had a decent ways to go to get to that baseball. but that is an obvious E3. James Tibbs, the batter now. He doubled his first time up, and so Edgington now getting into the danger zone of this Florida State lineup. Virginia had one error in yesterday's game and led to an unearned run. Hopefully not the case here in this third inning. Breaking ball for a called strike, and it's 0-1 to Tibbs. Doubled to left center field his first time up. Virginia once again shifting on him. Geloff playing fairly shallow, although at least distance between second and third. Basically standard depth shortstop. The 0-1, way upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. And 3 infielders to the right of second. O'Farrell very much up the middle, although to the right of second. Godbout way over in the hole at second base. Runner at first base is Barrett. We are tied at 1 in the third inning. And with 1 out in the top of the third, 1 ball, 1 strike to James Tibbs. Edgington from the belt, the pitch. Called strike. Over the outside edge, 1-2. John Meng, the home plate ump. Brian Miller is at first base. Will Prestwood is the second base umpire, and Dave Susi, the crew chief, completes the crew down the third base line. Check on the runner at first base. Virginia was able to pick off a runner yesterday. It was Chase Hungate picking off a Florida State base runner at first, middle innings of yesterday's game. But that pickoff throw fairly high, and Anderson didn't even bother putting a tag down on Barrett as he returned to first. This time a little bit closer, but once again Barrett back in safely. Says first base ump Brian Miller. Shadows from the overhang stopping halfway between home plate and the pitcher's mound as the sun has finally appeared this afternoon. 1-2 pitch for Brian Edgington after a long hold. Swing and a foul ball back. We'll do it again. 1-2. Changeup that might have been over the outside corner or perhaps just off of it, but either way close enough for Tibbs to feel like he needed to protect with 2 strikes against him. And he was able to foul it away and extend the at-bat. Now Geloff and O'Farrell flip places. O'Farrell back on the shortstop side of the bag and playing somewhat pinched up the middle, but fairly standard depth. And Geloff now all the way from third base over to the second base side of the bag. That modified shift. It's an interesting look defensively for Virginia, but they've gone to it a few times. I actually saw Geloff making a nice ranging play up the middle right behind second base in the midweek game on Wednesday in this same shift. The 1-2. Changeup floats outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now to James Tibbs, sophomore from Marietta, Georgia. He was a second-team freshman All-American selection last year, according to Perfect Game. Hit 300 with 10 homers and 32 RBIs, also 13 doubles as a true freshman last year. Now the 2-2 from Edgington. Backfoot's a breaking ball, but misses as Tibbs did not offer, and now he's been able to work the count back full to 3-2. Barrett is aboard at first after the E3, and with 1 out here in the third inning. Dangerous hitter in James Tibbs, team leader with both 7 homers and 24 RBIs. And the payoff pitch, there goes the runner, and it is taken down for ball 4. Just barely missed. So close, in fact, that Virginia's dugout asking John Meng, where did that miss? And he pointed down. Florida State now threatening first and second with 1 out. There's been a fairly tight strike zone today, and that borderline pitch goes against Virginia. Also the kind of thing where that'll happen from time to time, runner in motion, so the catcher is in motion to receive, transfer, and throw all in one motion, and sometimes makes it tougher to get a read on up and down as the pitch swung on line to center field. A base hit for Jaime Ferrer. O'Donnell up with it in center, fires back in, throw is cut off. They've got the runner caught between first and second. Anderson races him down and tags him out, and then looks the runner back to third. Anderson from the middle of the diamond, he had been the cutoff man and then spun and recognized that Ferrer had strayed so far. But by the way, again, not to be lost in the shuffle, Florida State has taken a 2-1 lead on an unearned run, scoring on the RBI single from Jaime Ferrer. And Tibbs ended up over at third base on the play as well. It is RBI number 23 on the season for Jaime Ferrer to put Florida State back in front 2-1. Florida State team that has already dipped into their bullpen in this game, and Carson Montgomery, who came on, was able to pitch his way out of the jam left for him by the starter Dennison. Now Trayton Rank takes a breaking ball for a strike. It was Rank's single in the first that brought home the first run of the game. And he bats now with Tibbs at third base and 2 outs. And the pitch from Edgington. Fastball misses high. So 1 ball, 1 strike now to Rank. And again, his RBI single in the first started the scoring. Virginia answered with a run in the bottom of the first, but now Florida State has put up a run in the top of the third to recapture the lead. Still in the early innings of this one. The 1-1. Swinging the ball popped up right side, but out of play. Fastball over the inner part of the plate. So the count 1-2 on Trayton Rank, sophomore right fielder. So Florida State, again, this meat of their lineup, I mean, they have been missing some guys due to injury at different points of the season, but they finally are back at basically full strength. 1-2, late decision to swing and line a slider foul from Trayton Rank, and he keeps the at-bat alive. 1-2 the count. Guillermo Ross, the center fielder, they just got him back from a broken finger. They've had guys in and out of the lineup with hamstring injuries, hamate bone injuries. Now the 1-2 from Edgington. Swing, and he popped it up foul and out of play to the right side. Had a weightlifting injury that cost one of their starters some games. It's been an injury-plagued early portion of the year, but again, they feel like they are finally back at full strength coming into this weekend from a position player standpoint, that is. Runner at third base, 2 outs. 1-2 is upstairs, 2-2. And again, in that first inning, 2 quick outs recorded by Edgington before Florida State tagged him for a run. So, trying to get out of this inning now. Runner at third base with 2 outs. Ball swung on, skied into shallow center. Long run for O'Donnell, but he's going to get under it. Make a catch, shoulder high, and the inning is over. But Florida State on the RBI single from Jaime Ferrer have retaken the lead at the end of 2.5 innings of play in Charlottesville. Florida State 2, Virginia 1.
Yesterday's walk-off victory was
Well, Jake Geloff was at the plate when the bottom of the second came to a conclusion. And he will return to the plate to lead things off as we go bottom three. There was some between-inning entertainment ongoing that was carrying over to the start of play, and the umpire turned around to let the host know, hey, we got a ball game to play. 2-1 Florida State. The Seminoles have retaken the lead, and now see if the heart of the Virginia lineup can do some damage. Geloff, Teal, and Anderson against the right-hander Carson Montgomery. His first pitch misses down. 1 ball, no strikes. 94-mile-an-hour fastball beneath the strike zone. Now back into the windup. Montgomery deals. Geloff swings, skies it to left. Back on it goes Tibbs, but he has room. And onto the warning track, makes a one-handed catch, and there is one away. And again, hopefully Virginia can do to Montgomery what opponents have been doing all season long, is an ERA up over 7 and an opponent's batting average over 300. But a guy that pitched for the USA Collegiate National Team this past summer, guy that coming out of high school was the #1 rated right-handed pitcher and #3 overall recruit in the state of Florida back in 2020. Pitch misses down and away to Kyle Teal, 1-0. Not only that, he was, according to the MLB.com draft rankings, they had him as the 34th best overall player available. Grounding to the right side, Kyle Teal, and Nander DeSatis from short right field picks it up and throws him out at first, although that is going to have to be overturned. I mean, even to the naked eye, Teal looked very much safe. And immediately, not only did Kyle Teal say, let's take a second look, but Matt Kirby, the first base coach, said the same. And typically when, oh yeah, I mean, it was very strange. In real time, he looked very much safe. And then the replay showed that, yeah, he was clearly safe. I mean, it was a tremendous effort from DeSatis diving into short right field. And, you know, sometimes human element of the umpire getting caught up in the moment of a tremendous defensive play, but and as they're taking a second look, it should be a short review. We saw yesterday there were some lengthy video review sessions as a result of the difficulties getting that replay system operational. Not because the umpires were reviewing it for so very long, but now it should be a one-out single for Teal when the umpires return to the field. And, you know, again, a credit to DeSatis diving to his left from second base into short right and throwing still on the ground, throwing to first and making an accurate throw, but he initially got the call, but again, I think as soon as the umpires get the replay system going, this should be a very easy call. Crew chief Dave Susi has been the guy making the calls after they take the video review. Finals from the ACC yesterday in Winston-Salem. How about second-ranked Wake? They shut out Miami, the 17th-ranked Canes, 11-0. It was Notre Dame 4, 6th-ranked Louisville 3 in South Bend. Pitt 5, Virginia Tech 4 in Pittsburgh. 16th-ranked Boston College, a 4-1 win over NC State. Duke evens up the series with 15th-ranked UNC 8-5 after North Carolina won the Thursday night game. 11 innings in Atlanta, but Georgia Tech 4, Clemson 3 in that one. So again, winners in the ACC yesterday: Notre Dame, Pitt, Boston College, Duke, Georgia Tech, Wake Forest, and Virginia, of course. And now here with one out in the home half of the third, Florida State 2, Virginia 1. Runner at first base, one out. Anderson swings, fouls a fastball back, and it's 0-1. Anderson, an RBI single his first time up in the first inning that drove home Jake Geloff. Teal at first with one out. 0-1 spun off the end of the bat, fielded by Montgomery. Looks to second, then thinks better of it and takes the shore out at first base. it goes 1-3. I think he would have had to play at second, although it would have been close. And any hesitation at all, the wise decision for the pitcher becomes to take the out at first, which he did. And now with 2 outs, Virginia still an opportunity. Casey Sauke will be the batter. So Teal at second, can break with contact. Sauke swings and he popped him up on the infield. The shortstop Carry-On drifting back onto the outfield grass. And now the third baseman, they had a miscommunication, looked at one another, and ultimately Cam Smith does make the catch, but for the longest time, each guy thinking the other was going to take it, and Smith didn't make it look easy, but does indeed make the catch to retire the side. Runner left at second. Virginia, another man left in scoring position. That's 3 through 3 innings in this game and 5 left on base in total. As we go to the fourth, it's Florida State 2, Virginia 1. Two to 1 Florida State as we go to the fourth inning now. 3 inning totals in this one as the Noles lead 2-1. Virginia with Brian Edgington back the mound, and Florida State has made him work with 60 pitches through 3 innings so far. For FSU, 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 3 runners left on base, 2 of those 3 left in scoring position. For Virginia, 1 run on 3 hits, 1 error, 5 runners left on base, 3 of those 5 left in scoring position. So some opportunities for Virginia that have gone by the wayside. But trailing by a run as we go to the fourth. Cam Smith, the batter for Florida State. Edgington deals a fastball up high, 1-0. Smith, DeSatis, and Carry-On, 6, 7, 8 for FSU. Again, Edgington has allowed just the 2 runs, one of them unearned because of an error last inning. Swing and a miss out in front of a changeup. Smith, that'll even the count at 1-1. And you could say that both runs could be unearned, as the first inning rally extended by a weak ground ball back to the mound that Edgington could not get to, as the next one fouled up the third base line. The following batter drove home the first run of the game, but Edgington was able to pick it cleanly. Then the out is recorded easily and the inning would have been over. But as he whiffed on it, it went down as an infield single instead. And then error in the third inning. Player reaching on an error ended up scoring. Another unearned run. 1-2 slider misses outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Cam Smith. Righty against righty. The freshman third baseman struck out swinging his first time up. Now the 2-2. Swing and a little jam shot right field. Godbout is not going to have a play on it. Muscles it out into right for a leadoff single. And here come the Noles again. Their 5th hit of the ball game. And it is a single from Cam Smith. His first hit of the series. His strikeout in the first was the 3rd time he'd gone down on strikes in this series. But again, that time Fastball in on his hands, and he's able to basically fight it off but serve it into right field. Now Nander DeSatis swing and a miss at the first pitch. Change up from Edgington, 0-1. DeSatis flied to center field his first time up. Switch hitter batting from the left side of the plate. And Edgington from the belt. Spins and checks on the runner at first. Diving back goes Smith, who has 2 stolen bases in 3 attempts. DeSatis, who was a 29th round draft choice by the Brewers coming out of high school, Montverde Academy in Florida, where he went to high school. Now the next pitch, runner goes. It's taken for a called strike. Throw to second base from Teal is on the money. And Smith is thrown out trying to steal second base. Second time Kyle Teal has thrown out a would-be base stealer in this series. Cam Smith, the latest victim. Second time he's been caught this year. Link Jarrett wants to challenge the call. And, you know, Cam Smith didn't protest at all, which typically that's sort of the starting place if there's going to be a second look, although, you know, perhaps Smith came back to the dugout. It was sort of a late request for a second look, and, you know, I can only think that, hey, maybe part of this, too, is Coach Jarrett trying to break up the rhythm of Edgington, but now they show the replay, and he's out. So, you know, the other thing about this is it's not as if, you know, with Virginia being the team defensively, it's not as if you're going to get any sort of interference. If anything, it would have been on DeSatis, the batter, but that's not the case. They have a freeze frame on the replay where O'Farrell's glove is on sort of the lower thigh of the runner Smith, and he has not yet made it to second, so that is as conclusive as you're going to find. Sort of like the replay review from last half inning with Kyle Teal, and he is out. And they say confirmed, not stands. So again, clearly overturned last inning, and this time it is confirmed, not just stands, that Smith is caught stealing. And again, the pitch had been a strike to DeSatis. The 0-2 is waved at and missed as Edgington gets him with a changeup, strikeout number 4 for Brian Edgington. All of a sudden, it's 2 outs, base is empty. And that'll get Jordan Carrion to the plate for FSU. Carrion, the University of Florida transfer. Don't see that every day. Guy going from UF to FSU, but Carrion did. Now junior shortstop. And the pitch from Edgington. Swing and a foul tip caught by Kyle Teal. 0-1 the count. Miami native, played at American Heritage in Plantation. 6'1", 162-pound junior shortstop. Now the 0-1 from Edgington. Pulls the hands in and skies it, but well foul. Pulled down the left field line and off into the trees behind the concourse. And Edgington ahead, no balls, 2 strikes. Florida State 2, Virginia 1 in the 4th. Florida State getting 1 in the first, 1 in the third. Virginia, its lone tally in the bottom of the first inning. Now the 0-2. Reaches for it, loops it out towards shallow right. Playing shallow was Casey Sauke. He will make the catch, and the inning is over. Leadoff single, but a caught stealing erased that, and Edgington faces the minimum 3 batters in this 4th inning. After 3.5 in Charlottesville, Florida State 2, Virginia 1. First-time right-hander Carson Montgomery has worked out of the bullpen for Florida State since last year's ACC tournament. He had made 5 starts this season. And last time out, starting the Sunday game against Boston College, took the loss, going 2 2/3 innings, allowing just 2 runs, one of which was earned on 3 hits. Anthony Stephan attacking his first pitch fastball, and skies it foul left side and out of play. And the count 0-1. Sort of a quick hook for Montgomery his last time out. He did walk 3 batters. Now the 0-1 to Stephan. Strike over the outside edge, but a guy that sits 94, 95 with the fastball. Throws a good cutter at around 90 and a nasty slider as well. The 0-2 to Stephan. Down and away. And oh, by the way, we'll mix in a changeup like he just did to Stephan there. 4 different pitches to account for, and one of those high-octane arms. It is truly a wonder why he has struggled so much this season, at least statistically. 1-2, doubled up with that changeup but missed outside, and it's now 2-2 to Stephan. Anthony Stephan, who walked his first time up, tried to score from third on a wild pitch, but was thrown out by the catcher to the pitcher covering. 2-2 missed outside, 3-2. Fastball runs way off the outside corner. Full count to Stephan, making his 6th start of the season and playing in his 14th game overall for UVA here in 2023. Leading off in the 4th as Virginia trails 2-1, and the payoff pitch. Swinging the ball lifted center field, pretty well tagged, chasing back Ross, still going back. That ball is over his head and one hops off the wall. Stephan coasting into second has a leadoff double, and the Who's are in business in the 4th as Tony Stephan has his 4th double of the year. And again, his 8th hit in 20 at-bats. Just feels like he is slated for continuing opportunities with what he is doing. Now Godbout will be the batter, and corner infielders are way in on the grass expecting a bunt. See how Virginia plays it. They went the sack bunt route in the 2nd inning, ended up stranding a runner. And a bouncing ball towards short. Stephan breaking for third. They've got him thrown out there. Tagged out by the third baseman. And, well, a blunder on the base paths there from Anthony Stephan. The leadoff double, but he is thrown out as he misread the ground ball. Runner at second. From the runner's perspective, if it's hit to your right, meaning to the shortstop side, you head back towards second. For that exact reason, that you can get thrown out at third base. And that's exactly what Carrion did. Now runner at first, 1 out for Didowick. Ball hit to your left. That's when you break for third, but Stephan did the opposite. And, you know, it's a shame. I mean, the leadoff double, a big moment to jumpstart the Who's in this inning, but costly base running mistake there. Fastball for a strike, and it's 1-1. So Didowick, who laid down a sacrifice bunt his first time up. Waiting on the 1-1 pitch from Montgomery. Takes it outside, 2-1. Virginia feels like really have been so close multiple times in this game and really all weekend, to be honest. I mean, again, 11 hits yesterday, just 3 runs to show for it. Fastball missed away, 3-1. Which the pessimistic way to look at it would be having wasted opportunities, but the optimistic look would be it's only a matter of time until the offense breaks through and puts together a big inning. 3-1 and a fastball. Didowick was on it, but shoots it straight back to the netting. Griff O'Farrell, the on-deck hitter, picks it up, gives it to the home plate umpire who is looking it over, and John Mang deems it worthy enough to drop down into that ball bag on his hip pocket. Full count, see if Godbout's going from first. There he goes. The pitch is fouled away into Virginia's dugout. Look out. I'll beg your pardon. It went on top of the dugout and then bounced back down in front of it. Initially, I thought it had hit the back of the dugout and popped back out, but it was not the case. It had just hit the netting and then rolled back off the top. Godbout running on the last pitch. See if he's off again. He is holding, and Didowick fouls it back. We'll do it again, 3-2. 95 that time. Bottom of the strike zone. Well, again, it was Didowick yesterday, and, you know, Baker, obviously the walk-off hero, but it was Didowick in that ninth inning that kept Virginia alive. Down to their final out, he worked a walk, ended up scoring the tying run. Runner goes again, and Didowick fouls it away left side. It was an extended at-bat in that ninth inning against Connor Whitaker, who was 1 out away from winning it for Florida State, and in fact 1 strike away. Virginia down to its final strike, but Didowick just clawing to keep the at-bat alive, ultimately works the walk. Runner goes again, and it's fouled away by Didowick. What a battle this has turned into between the right-hander Montgomery and the left-hand hitting Harrison Didowick. Montgomery has been fastball heavy in this at-bat. Godbout sort of alternating going or not going. There he goes again. Pitch is grounded towards second base. DeSatis flips to second for 1. Relay to first. Double play. After all that, it goes 4-6-3, and the inning is over. And even starting the runner doesn't keep them out of the twin killing. Nothing across for Virginia after 4 complete. 2-1, Florida State. Well, as Virginia searching still for that elusive answer offensively, trailing Florida State 2-1 as we go to the top of the 5th inning. 4 innings in the books, and Brian Edgington still has been solid on the mound for the Hoos. He's back out there to face for Florida State the 9-1-2 hitters in the Seminole lineup: Colton Vincent, Diamez Ross, and Ben Barrett. As Virginia yet again gets a man to scoring position but cannot score. Last half inning, called strike to Vincent on a changeup from Edgington to start him. 2 runs, 5 hits for the Seminoles, and 1 run, 4 hits for Virginia. Switch hitter batting left. The pitch from Edgington. Fastball, strike. And the count quickly 0-2 as Edgington working ahead. Montgomery, meanwhile, has been very good out of the bullpen for Florida State. So far, he has logged now 2 2/3 innings of scoreless relief. Edgington's pitch missed a little bit low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Vincent fly to center field his first time up. Redshirt senior catcher. And switch hitter batting from the left side of the plate. Edgington stretches out the arms high above his head. Now deals to the JUCO transfer from the College of Central Florida, and it misses down. Change up from Edgington. That'll even up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Colton Vincent, originally from Palmetto, Florida. Had a career day, 3-hit day against Virginia in the ACC tournament last year in Charlotte. Now Edgington Big deep breath back into the windup. The 2-2. Swing and a tapper foul towards the FSU dugout. Bouncing it behind himself. So the count remains 2-2. Some stirring in Virginia's bullpen and maybe some early tossing getting underway now. Edgington ready to work. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Up the ladder with a fastball. Strikeout number 5 for Brian Edgington. As Vincent is down swinging, and there's one away in the 5th. Edgington now at 77 pitches in the game, and I mentioned it before, he's been the model of consistency for Virginia. The one time he did not get through 5 innings this year was opening weekend when he was limited to 76 pitches by design, making sure he got built up. Fastball misses outside to Diamez Ross. 1 ball, no strikes. Ross 0 for 2. He is lined out and flied out, both the opposite way. His line out to shortstop and his fly out to left field. Now here comes the 1-0 from Edgington. And over the outside edge, called a strike, 1-1. Ross did not think so. Diamez Ross, freshman center fielder. And Melbourne, Florida native. Here comes the 1-1 from Edgington. And a little bit low with a fastball. 2-1. Ross, born in Yokosuka, Japan, while his dad Keith was playing professional baseball over there. Keith Ross actually played here in the state of Virginia, played at Norfolk State, and then 10-year professional baseball player, spending time in both Japan and Korea. Ross trying to bunt for a base hit, pushes it foul, and it's 2-2. Then ran a baseball training facility in Japan for a while, did Diamez Ross's dad, and so he was born in 2003 in Yokosuka, Japan. So that's where Keith Ross's baseball playing and training took him. Now the 2-2 pitch to the younger Ross. Diamez lifted down the left field line, but slicing foul and out of play towards the berm. Scrum ensues for a foul ball. Last year's Florida Today Player of the Year as a senior at Eau Gallie High School in Melbourne. .489 hitter with 47 runs scored his senior year. The 2-2. Swinging a line drive again at the shortstop. Deja vu from the first inning, as he has now twice hit a ball on a line right at Griff O'Farrell. And it's 2 outs, bases empty here in the top half of the 5th. And Edgington now to face Ben Barrett. Mentioned there had been some stirring in the bullpen. And the pitch to Barrett misses up and in. 1 ball, no strikes. And it had been Angelo Tonis up and tossing, and now it's Kevin Jaxel up and tossing. Here's the 1-0 from Edgington. Lifted down the right field line, slicing, and will it get foul? That is a foul ball. Rattles around the corner, but just a long strike. Even up the count at 1-1. Florida State 2, Virginia 1, top of the 5th. The Noles got an RBI single from Trayton Rank in the top of the 1st. Virginia answered back on an RBI single from Ethan Anderson in the bottom of the inning, and then Florida State jumped back in front on Jaime Ferrer's RBI single in the 3rd. The 1-1. Breaking ball to the backstop. Up and in. Teal trying to catch it, then his footing went out from underneath him, and he could not. And it basically missed everybody in that one window that it could, and went straight to the backstop in the air. 2-2 pitch now from Edgington. Swing and a bouncer foul. Beg your pardon, that will move the count to 2-2. Mistakenly read the balls and outs as 2-2, but 2 outs and now a 2-2 count to Ben Barrett, right-hand hitting freshman, who again might be the guy to start on the mound tomorrow for FSU. Started their midweek game against Florida. And the 2-2. Line drive towards short, caught by O'Farrell. This one a soft liner, unlike the ball smacked by Diamez Ross, but back-to-back liners to O'Farrell to end the inning. And at the end of 4.5 innings of play, we are halfway home as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Our score in Charlottesville, Florida State 2, Virginia 1. As we go to the bottom of the 5th inning in Charlottesville, Wahoo's still chasing a run. It'll be the top of the order, O'Farrell, O'Donnell, and Geloff to face the righty Carson Montgomery, who again has come on and now logged 2 2/3 innings of scoreless relief. Junior from Windermere High School in the Orlando area, who has pitched much better than his numbers would indicate so far today. O'Farrell takes a fastball down, 1-0. And Montgomery, as highly touted as they come, coming out of Windermere High School, the Wolverines, deals 1-0 to O'Farrell. Swinging a spinner towards Virginia's dugout, 1-1 the count. Just has not been able to put it all together in his FSU career. Freshman season, 11 appearances, 8 starts back in 2021. 28 innings, he walked 23. He also struck out 39. Fastball up and in, 2-1. Again, the stuff is electric. Fastball has consistently been 94, 95 today. Really, he's not thrown that cutter that I've heard so much about today. Really have not seen it. The 2-1. That's down. Fastball low, and it's 3-1 to O'Farrell. And righty against righty as Montgomery now back into the windup and misses up and in, ball 4. So not only a leadoff walk here in the 5th, but Montgomery puts O'Farrell, who has exceptional speed, aboard. And now Ethan O'Donnell for Virginia. See if the Hoos can turn this into a rally. Last inning, leadoff double that went for naught after the base running blunder that resulted in an out at third base. And Virginia also had bases loaded, 1 out in the 2nd, but could not score. O'Donnell drops a beautiful bunt down the third base side, picked up by the third baseman. There is no play to be found. A bunt base hit for Ethan O'Donnell, and an absolute beauty. Well, Montgomery went over towards it and realized that even if he had been able to pick him up, the way his momentum was taking him, there was no way he was going to throw out O'Donnell. So he left it to the third baseman, Smith, to try and make a play. But by the time Cam Smith picked it up, I don't even know if he looked at first base. He knew that there was no chance he was going to get O'Donnell. So first and second, nobody out now for Jake Geloff. And the pitch, swinging a line drive, but foul. He pulled it, bouncing off the fencing above the tarp. Deflects out into left field where James Tibbs picks it up and just tosses it up onto the berm. and a all-out brawl between a number of youngsters on that berm seating area. First and second, nobody out here in the fifth, and the pitch to Geloff. To the backstop, over the head of Geloff. Vincent plays the deflection, and now the Who's with a truly golden opportunity. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jake Geloff. And after that wild pitch, that will prompt some activity in the Florida State bullpen. And it looks like Andrew Armstrong is the man to begin throwing, who we saw yesterday for an inning of work. Second and third, nobody out. Geloff swings and sends it back to the screen, and it's 1-2. Elevated fastball at 93, right at the top of the zone. Infield would concede the run everywhere but first. The first baseman, Barrett, right now even with the bag. Rest of the infield playing back on Geloff. Now the 1-2. Swinging a ground ball towards third. Played by the third baseman. Throws to the plate. Bounced it in and safe. O'Farrell gets in under the tag. Vincent, as the ball bounced up on him, trying to rush the tag down but could not. No protest from him as O'Farrell slides in safely. Well, Smith fielded it with plenty of time but bounced the throw in, and Virginia has tied up the game at 2. The Wahoos 2, the Seminoles 2, and now Kyle Teal with runners at the corners and still nobody out. And now Chuck Restano is going to go out of the mound to talk with the right-hander Carson Montgomery. Well, it is a fielder's choice and an RBI for Geloff, as you can't assume the out will be recorded on the non-forced play, but 33rd RBI of the year for Geloff. On a fielder's choice there, and again, runners at the corners, still nobody out. Kyle Teal, the batter. I can't imagine that Armstrong is all ready to come in. He's trying to get loose as quickly as he can, but he just started throwing from the bullpen mound. Home plate ump, John Mang. I believe that's the 4th mound visit that Florida State has used in this game, but the first-year pitching coach who spent 12 years as the pitching coach at Notre Dame, both under Mick Aoki and then Link Jarrett, now makes his way back to the Florida State dugout. Kyle Teal, the batter, left-hand hitter against the righty Montgomery. The potential go-ahead run stands at third. Runners at the corners, nobody out, and the pitch. Swinging the ball lifted out towards left field, should get the job done. Slicing towards the line, it's a foul ball just to the left of the chalk. And thought off the bat that was going to stay fair, but it just sliced to the left. And the runners retreat. O'Donnell to third, Geloff back to first. Still nobody out in the inning, no balls and a strike. After that first pitch fastball from Carson Montgomery. Looks over at Geloff at first base. And now the 0-1. Swinging a ground ball towards short. This could be 2. Juggled by the shortstop, carry on. Shovel pass to second. They get the out there. That has brought home the go-ahead run as O'Donnell scores from third base. Ball took a big hop up on carry on, so they get just the 1 out. Teal is aboard safely. Picks up an RBI on the fielder's choice. It's Virginia 3, Florida State 2 in the 5th. That is RBI number 24. Now for Kyle Teal this season. Certainly settles down the inning quite a bit, as it's now runner at first with 1 out. But the Who's in front for the first time today. Pitch is fouled back. And it's 0-1 to Anderson, who is 1 for 2, an RBI single in the first to get Virginia on the board. And he grounded out back to the mound in the 3rd inning in his 1 at-bat against Montgomery today. The 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. It does seem like Montgomery, who's been more 92-93 in this inning, is starting to fade a bit some stuff missing up and also the velocity dropping just a bit in his third inning of relief. Now the 1-1. Swinging a ground ball toward short. This should be 2. The shortstop, Carry-On, just steps on the bag, throws to first, and it is a double play. And the second double play induced by Carson Montgomery today. That will end the inning, but not before. Virginia plates a couple of runs, and at the end of 5 complete now have a 3-2 lead. Looks like Virginia going to the bullpen when we come back. It's the Who's 3, the Seminoles 2, heading to the 6th. Another solid start today from Virginia's Brian Edgington, who is done after 88 pitches and 5 innings of work. For the Wahoos today, Edgington allowed just 2 runs, only one of which was earned. He walked 1, struck out 5, and allowed 5 hits. Makes way now for Kevin Jaxel, Virginia's first-year righty out of Don Bosco Prep in New Jersey, is on for the 7th time this season. And his first pitch to James Tibbs is skied left side. Didowit going back towards the corner and now up against the wall. That ball is gone. James Tibbs, an opposite field home run on the very first pitch from Kevin Jaxel. That ball just kept carrying and somehow gets out of here. Off the bat, thought it was going to be a routine pop fly, but that ball ends up about 3 or 4 rows deep in the bleacher seating. That is the first earned run allowed by Kevin Jaxel this season. And it is the first pitch that he throws today, and just like that, Florida State has tied the game back up on 1 pitch in the 6th inning. So it'll be a no decision for Brian Edgington just like that. Virginia 3, Florida State 3, the 8th home run of the year for Tibbs, and his 25th RBI. Pitch a called strike to Jaime Ferrer, and on this sunny Saturday afternoon, we are up to 65 degrees. There is a little bit of wind blowing out that direction, blowing out towards left field. And that might have been just enough to help Tibbs' ball get out of here today on that high fly ball. Another strike to Ferrer. It's 0-2. The next one from Jaxel is bounced foul outside of third. But no matter how you want to dissect it, James Tibbs has tied the game. Again, the most dangerous man in that FSU lineup, continuing to produce today. He's now 2 for 2, 2 extra base hits and a walk. Jaxel's fastball misses upstairs, 1-2. So it'll be a no decision for Edgington, but 5 innings, 2 runs, only 1 earned. He was very good today once again. The 1-2. Swinging the ball popped up, foul back, out of play. Honestly, off the bat, again, thought Only question is Didowick going to be catching this in fair territory or foul territory? Not only did it stay fair, it carried out of here. Next one bounced out towards short, easy, big hop for O'Farrell. Fires to first, and there's one away. As Ferrer grounds out 6-3. Jacksel, the Congers, New York native. Again, that is the first run he has allowed all season. 1-0, 7 1/3 innings, 12 strikeouts, no walks. And it only allowed 3 hits all told. And first home run, first run he's allowed this season. Breaking ball strike to Trayton Rank, and it's 0-1. Jacksel, who had been rated as the number 2 right-handed pitcher, number 6 overall recruit in New York by perfect game out of high school last year. Deals down and away, and it's 1-1. And Virginia, who put up a 2-spot last half inning to take the lead, now find themselves in a tie ball game once again. 1-1 missing downstairs, 2-1. Feeling somewhat similar to yesterday's nip and tuck affair that Virginia eventually won 3-2 in 10 innings. We are tied at 3 now, top of the 6th. The 2-1. Upstairs, 3 balls, 1 strike to Trayton Rank. 1 for 2 in the game with an RBI single, and he's also flied out to center field. Hitters count, the pitch from Jacksel. Check swing, didn't mean to. Fouls it straight back, and it's 3-2. Well, the sophomore out of Buford High School in Georgia. 278 hitter last year as a true freshman, and Rank entered play today at 300 on the season. Now the payoff from Kevin Jacksel is strike 3 called over the outside edge. Rank knew it, and that is out number 2 as Jacksel has his first strikeout of the appearance. 2 outs, bases empty now for Cam Smith. Well, again, solo homer from James Tibbs has tied up the game at 3. And a battle of the bullpens officially in terms of the decisions in this game. Fastball just beneath the strike zone, 1-0 to Cam Smith. Freshman third baseman from Lake Worth, Florida, and out of Palm Beach Central High School. Missed upstairs, 2-0. He was the Sun Sentinels Class 7A Player of the Year last year for the Palm Beach Central Broncos. .435 hitter with 32 RBIs as a senior last year. 2-0 pitch. A little bit low with a fastball is Jacksel, and it's 3-0. Freshman has become the everyday third baseman for Florida State. The pitch from Jacksel is high, ball 4. So, not wasting any pitches. It's a 4-pitch walk. And that'll get Nander DeSatis to the plate for FSU. 0 for 2 so far today. Be interesting to see if Florida State will run Montgomery back out there or go further into the bullpen now that the Seminoles have tied the game back up. Does that change the thinking at all for Link Jarrett? DeSatis trying to bunt for a hit. Spins it foul outside of the third base line. 0-1. DeSatis is flied to center and struck out swinging. For, again, guy who spent 3 years at Florida State, transferred to Missouri for last year, and then came back to Tallahassee for this his redshirt senior year. Now the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a ball skied. Center field for O'Donnell, shading his eyes as he crosses into left center field. Now underneath it, makes a one-handed catch, and the inning is over. So Kevin Jacksel bounces back. But the damage done here in the 6th. Solo homer from James Tibbs to lead off the inning. Ties the game at 3. And as we go to the bottom of the 6th, it's Virginia 3, Florida State 3 here at Disharoon Park. Carson Montgomery does indeed return to the mound for Florida State. It's already the longest relief appearance of his career. Again, a guy that has primarily been a weekend starter for the now junior right-handed pitcher. It'll be Casey Sauke, Anthony Stefan, Henry Godbout. And the first pitch inside almost hit him. 1 ball, no strikes. 6, 7, and 8 in the Wahoos lineup. Tie ball game now, bottom of the 6th. Virginia 3, Florida State 3. The pitch is a little bit low. 2 balls, no strikes to Casey Sauke. He has bounced into a fielder's choice and popped out to third base 0 for 2 so far today after a 2 for 5 yesterday. 2-0 tapped foul. And the count now 2-1. Virginia putting up a couple of runs last inning. RBIs for Geloff and Teal. But Florida State tied it up on Tibbs' home run. Big hop for the third baseman Smith, who fields, throws to first, and there's 1 away. As Sauke bounces out 5-3, and now Anthony Stefan will bat. Tied at 3, last of the 6th. Stefan, who doubled to straightaway center last time up, takes it down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. He walked in the 2nd, and then that double in the 4th. Another productive day at the dish for Stefan. Can he get something started with 1 out now here? The pitch. Down and in. 2 balls, no strikes. Armstrong has been up and down in that Florida State bullpen. I would suspect he remains the next guy they would go to. But we'll wait and find out. The 2-0 pitch taken at the very bottom of the strike zone. 2-1. Still bringing it at 94 right there. The junior righty Carson Montgomery. 2 balls, 1 strike. The next pitch. Swinging a line drive, base hit, center field. Stefan, another base hit, as he has a 1-out single. So he's 2 for 2 and has been on base all 3 times. And now Henry Godbout will be the batter. Looks like Virginia is going to get Jake Berry up and tossing now in the bullpen, as Armstrong resumes throwing. Runner at first, 1 out, pitch to Godbout. Line, right field, that is a fair ball and a base hit. Rolls down towards the corner. Stefan over to third base. It's dug out by the right fielder Rank. They wave Stefan home. Throw comes back in towards third base. Stefan scores. Throw to third base is in time. Godbout is tagged out, but the Hoos have retaken the lead as Stefan comes in to score on the RBI double for Henry Godbout. Looks like Brian O'Connor might want to ask for a review. He might also be asking about the baseball down in the right field corner. And for the moment, it is RBI number 15 for Godbout, and that is how it will remain. That is the 6th double of the year. And RBI number 15 as Stefan scores to make it Virginia 4, Florida State 3. And a strong throw from the right fielder, Trayton Rank, all the way to third to gun him down, trying to stretch a double into a triple. You know, when it's the time to do it, I mean, with 1 out in the inning, that's when you test it, trying to get the third with less than 2 outs. But an absolute seed of a throw from Rank that threw out Godbout at third base. So credit to Rank there. 1-0 pitch now to Didowick. Swing and a miss. Fastball by him, and it's 1-1. Well, Armstrong continues to throw, and I would think now Jake Berry would be warming in earnest. 2 outs, base is empty. The 1-1. There's a called strike. 1-2. He had been getting loose slowly but surely, but Now Virginia has taken the lead, and just as quickly that second out recorded on the same play sort of made one part of the decision for Virginia in assuming that now Barry would come in. The other end of that is that it means he has to hurry things up, and I think this is why Kevin McMullen now asking for time. And Virginia will conference halfway up that third baseline. Harrison Didewick and Kevin McMullen chatting, and this is to let Jake Barry make some warm-up tosses. And now home plate umpire John Mang breaks up that visit. 1-2 the count on Harrison Didewick. 2 outs and the base is empty. And something fell out of the bleachers onto the warning track. I think it might just be a baseball, and it is. And if that's a Virginia fan that threw it onto the field, that's not a bad idea to give Barry a few extra warm-up tosses and extend that break as well. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Harrison Didewick. 2 outs, base is empty. And the pitch outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Part of it, too, I mean, just to break up Carson Montgomery here. RBI double from Henry Godbout has scored Anthony Stefan and put Virginia back in front. 4-3 our score. As Didewick fouls it away left side and out of play. And we'll do it again, 2-2. Yet another extended at bat from Harrison Didewick. As Montgomery working from the stretch, even with the bases empty. The pitch, swing and a miss. He went changeup, had Didewick out in front. And that is strikeout, amazingly enough, only number 2 from Carson Montgomery. But the Hoos take the lead back. RBI double from Henry Godbout at the end of 6 complete. It's Virginia 4, Florida State 3. On to the 7th inning in Charlottesville. Virginia 4, Florida State 3, our score. The Wahoos turn to Jake Barry on the mound as he takes over as pitcher number 3 on the day for Virginia. Barry, his 9th appearance of the season, an 0-1 record and a 1.50 earned run average. Deals a fastball strike to Jordan Carrion, and it's 0-1. Barry, 3 saves, 18 innings, 21 strikeouts, just 6 walks. 0-1 is swung on, lifted to left field. Didewick gliding over, makes a one-handed catch. Carrion is retired for out number 1 in the 7th. Barry, the now third-year lefty out of Bishop O'Connell in Northern Virginia. 6'10", 255-pound lefty. Now to face a pinch hitter again, as Florida State's going to make the same substitution they did yesterday with McGuire Holbrook coming on to bat. So right-handed hitter will bat in the 7th inning. Saw him as a pinch hitter in yesterday's game in the 9th. Takes it downstairs. Change up from Barry, misses. 1 ball, no strikes. Reached on an error, but drove home Nander DeSatis in the 9th inning of yesterday's ball game. Now Barry's 1-0 pitch. Fastball strike, and it's 1-1. Barry, 20 appearances, 9 starts last year, exclusively out of the bullpen this year. His 9th appearance of 2023. Left-handers 1-1 now to Holbrook. Up and away, 2 balls and 1 strike to the West Virginia transfer, McGuire Holbrook. McGuire spelled like Mark McGuire, junior catcher by trade, and yesterday remained on to do the catching after pinch hitting for Vincent, presumably the same today. Swings, skies it, deep left center field, chasing O'Donnell over into the gap, but a little bit off the end of the bat. Now comes in a step to make the catch, and that's out number 2. So 2 outs, bases clear. Now for the top of the order and Diamez Ross. Saw yesterday when Holbrook took over behind the plate some miscues, wild pitches and the like that got away from him. That as a fastball for a called strike 1, you'd think maybe the difference between defensively catcher number 1 and catcher number 2, Vincent and Holbrook, perhaps something Virginia could take advantage of again today. 0-1, strike 2 called. First fastball at the knees, second one over the outside corner, and Jake Barry is way ahead, 0-2. 2 outs, bases empty. Top of the 7th inning, Virginia 4, Florida State 3. 0-2, strike 3 called. At the knees, good morning, good afternoon, good night. 1-2-3 inning of work for Jake Barry in the 7th. That'll get us to stretch time. After 6.5 in Charlottesville, our score remains Virginia 4, Florida State 3.
All right, fans, get up on your feet. It's time for the 7th inning stretch. Let's hear those pipes. The 7th inning stretch is presented by the Joint Chiropractic. Hey, fans, stay on your feet because we got some free t-shirts coming your way. Earlier you made some noise, and you want a free t-shirt.
Carson Montgomery remains on for Florida State. We are all stretched out going to the bottom of the 7th. Virginia would love a little bit of insurance. It's the Wahoos 4, the Seminoles 3. Here in the last of the 7th, it'll be the top of the lineup. O'Farrell, O'Donnell, and Geloff. For their 3rd look now at Carson Montgomery, O'Farrell swings, skies one down the right field line. Racing over is Rank. He's got a beat on it. Makes a one-handed catch, and there's one away. Armstrong continues to throw in that Florida State bullpen, and FSU wants to save arms as much as they can with sort of limited options right now out of their bullpen. And as Ethan O'Donnell announced, they will again stick with Montgomery. O'Donnell laid down a bunt single last time up against Montgomery. The pitch shows it again and takes a fastball for a called strike over the outside corner, 0-1. Right-hander Montgomery, junior from Windermere, Florida, deals, and a little bit low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Armstrong, who's in the bullpen for FSU, threw an inning and 12 pitches yesterday. Certainly thrown many more than that today, as he's thrown in 3 different innings now. O'Donnell swings skies 1 to left, pretty well tagged, but playable for Tibbs, as he will make the catch a step in front of the warning track. More of a line drive than a fly ball from O'Donnell. But it's out number 2, and quickly 2 up, 2 down for Virginia in this 7th inning. And now Jake Geloff will be the batter. He picked up an RBI and a fielder's choice in the 5th that drove home Griff O'Farrell. Kyle Teal's ground out brought home Ethan O'Donnell. Breaking ball down and in. 1 ball, no strikes in that 2-run 5th. And then in the 6th, Virginia went ahead 4-3 on the RBI double from Henry Godbout that scored Anthony Stefan. 1-0 pitch now from Montgomery. Fastball strike. And the count 1-1. Geloff looking for his first hit of the day. Does have the RBI that I mentioned and also walked and scored a run in the 1st. So a productive day nonetheless. 1-1 inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Montgomery now up to, well, about to throw his 75th pitch of the game now, the 2-1. Down and away. 3 balls, 1 strike. So 75 pitches today out of the bullpen for Montgomery. Easily the longest relief appearance of his career. Prior long out of the bullpen had been just an inning and a third for a guy who's been a weekend starter most of his career. 3-1 pitch. Swinging a hard hit ball towards third. That is a foul ball. And diving the third baseman Smith. Third base umpire Dave Soucy had a nice good look at it. That was really close. Geloff asking his dugout, should we take a second look? You know, Smith, the third baseman who was guarding the line for all intents and purposes there, if he's not able to knock it down diving across the line, it seems, at least it stands to reason, it has to be a foul ball. But I thought in real time somehow he had kept it fair, but not the case. So 3 balls, 2 strikes the count. And the payoff pitch to Geloff, taken downstairs. That's ball 4. So Geloff is aboard with 2 outs, and Virginia something cooking now as Kyle Teal will be the batter. And this might be where Florida State goes to bring in the left-hander Andrew Armstrong for the matchup of left on left. They have announced Teal and no Link Jarrett just yet, so they're going to stick with Montgomery here. And the pitch to Teal, taken downstairs, 1-0. Popped out of the glove of the new Florida State catcher. They do not put Holbrook behind the plate after his semi-struggles back there yesterday. They actually put in Lance Triple. 1-0 to Teal. Check swing, doesn't matter. Called a strike. And that will even up the counter to ball and a strike. So the freshman catcher getting some action behind the plate now. The 1-1 to Teal. Outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Virginia 4, Florida State 3, last of the 7th. Middle game of the series that saw Virginia take game 1 in 10 innings yesterday by a 3-2 final score. And now, with Geloff at first, 2 outs, the 2-1 to Kyle Teal. Swing and a ball popped up foul left side and out of play. That levels the count at 2-2. Sort of stands to reason if Florida State not going to bring on Armstrong for the matchup left on left with Teal and also the switch hitter Anderson to follow. They're going to just ride Montgomery as long as they can. 2-2 hit on the ground through the right side, a base hit. Geloff around second. He will head to third as the right fielder Rank fires it back in. Saw his arm on full display last inning. And it's runners at the corners now with 2 outs. Ethan Anderson will be the batter. I guess theoretically another spot where Florida State could make the move and force Anderson to bat from the right side of the plate for the first time today. As Triple out from behind home plate to set the defensive alignment. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. Geloff at third, Teal at first. For what it's worth, Montgomery does have 7 wild pitches this season. Anderson takes it, it bounces in. He does throw a changeup in the dirt, 1-0. Right-hander looks behind him at first. And his 1-0. Anderson bounces it foul towards the FSU dugout. So the count even up at 1-1. The 7th of those wild pitches came earlier in the game today. See if Anderson can cash in for Virginia. 1 for 3 so far today. The 1-1. Down and into the backstop. Here comes the runner from third, and Geloff is going to dive in safely to stretch Virginia's lead to 5-3. Calling for that wild pitch. It's the 8th of the season from Montgomery and puts Virginia in front by a couple of runs. Teal also up to second on the play. Honestly thought, if for no other reason than that, this might be where they would make the move to bring in Armstrong. So now 2 balls, 1 strike to Ethan Anderson. Kyle Teal at second, 2 outs. Base hit would bring home another run. The pitch. Swing and a bouncer foul into the Florida State dugout. Always sort of a scary sight when it doesn't come back out. Runner at second base, 2 outs, and the 2-2. Swing and a ball golfed foul left side. Fastball maybe at the bottom of the zone, maybe just beneath it, but either way, close enough for Anderson to offer at it. Ethan Anderson, switch hitter batting left against the righty Montgomery. 2-2 pitch. Outside, 3-2. Lays off a changeup. Again, this is the 3rd trip through the lineup against Montgomery, who came out of the bullpen after an inning and a third from starter Ryan Dennison. They've ended up going the inning totals you would have expected from these 2 guys, just in reverse order. Runner at second, 2 outs, the payoff pitch. Up and away, ball 4. So first and second now with 2 outs. Casey Sauke will be the batter. For Montgomery, that is the 4th walk he has allowed. And he's about to throw his 90th pitch of the game, or is he? Blake Jarrett finally just popped out of the dugout. Again, interesting that now is when they elect to make that move with the left-hander ready in the pen, and he will come on to face the right-hand hitting Casey Sauke. And Armstrong, a guy with that low 3/4 arm slot from the left side. Again, I thought Teal was going to be the first man he would face, but that was not the case. And then Anderson, but again not the case. But left-hander coming on to face Sauke with runners at first and second. Virginia's still threatening. It's the Wahoos 5, the Seminoles 3, last of the 7th inning here in Charlottesville. For the second consecutive day, Florida State goes to Andrew Armstrong out of their bullpen. And the junior left-hander from Flowery Branch, Georgia, is on for the team-leading 15th time this season. As Armstrong, who worked an inning yesterday, a scoreless 8th, as he retired. Well, he faced 3 batters to get 3 outs. Did allow a hit, but also recorded a double play. He'll face Sauke, runners at first and second with 2 outs. Fastball for a strike, and it's 0-1. That low 3/4 arm slot, upper 80s fastball, and a good slider. 6'2", 155-pound lanky lefty. Virginia 5, Florida State 3. Last of the 7th that has seen Virginia score a run already this inning. Now the 0-1. And he hit him. Slings it all the way across the plate. Sauke is hit by the pitch. And now, with the bases loaded up and 2 outs, Virginia is going to go to the bench. And Luke Hansen will bat. And Hansen, who is 8 for 17 on the season. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Opportunity to tack on for the Who's right here. The pitch from Armstrong. Slider waved at and missed, and it's 0-1. Went up hunting a first pitch fastball, but did not get it. And that's what Armstrong's good slider can do to opposing hitters. Armstrong, good numbers, 1-1 with 2 saves, a 2.76 ERA. The 0-1. Slider swung on and missed again, and it's 0-2. That one in the strike zone, but Hansen still way out in front of it. 16 strikeouts over 16 and a third innings, and an opponent's batting average of just .224. Now the 0-2. Bounced it in. Blocked by Triple, the, again, new catcher this inning. Virginia has scored a run in the inning on a wild pitch that brought Jay Geloff in from third. Runners at second and third, the responsibility of Montgomery. And the lefty Armstrong ready, the 1-2. And it hit him. Breaking ball swept all the way across the plate. Gets Hansen on the front leg, and Virginia has its 6th run of the day. An RBI the old-fashioned way. Luke Hansen brings home Kyle Teal from third. Virginia 6, Florida State 3. Armstrong has come in and plunked consecutive batters. Bases remain loaded. There is nobody throwing in the Florida State pen. Henry Godbout is the batter, with now a chance to break this thing wide open. Pitch down. 1 ball, no strikes. Like maybe the rare changeup from Armstrong. It was primarily fastball slider, but maybe the confidence in that slider waning against right-handed batters as he's plunked 2 of them. Sauke and Hansen both with sliders that have run all the way across the plate. Now a throw to second behind Sauke, who dives back into second. DeSatis trying to sneak in from second base. But the throw from Armstrong a little bit behind him, and he ended up on his backside after securing the catch and making sure it didn't end up in the outfield. Now the 1-0 pitch. Downstairs, 2 balls, no strikes. Obviously no place to put him. 2 runs home in the inning for Virginia. Cavaliers 6, Seminoles 3. Bottom of the 7th inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Hitters count for Godbout, the 2-0. Downstairs, 3-0. Would imagine that the first-year Godbout is going to be asked to take all the way here, considering Armstrong has faced 2 batters, has plunked them both. Now Florida State scampering to get somebody throwing in the bullpen, but David Barrett just started throwing and is not even back onto the bullpen mound yet. Looks like he is now, after what, 3 or 4 tosses, at least has made his way back to the mound now, down in the bullpen, but still in the infant stages of getting loose. 3 balls, no strikes to Henry Godbout. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Lefty sets, third base side of the rubber, the pitch. Downstairs, ball 4. Another run walks in. Godbout picks up the RBI. Anderson, the latest to cross the plate. A 4-pitch walk to Henry Godbout. Virginia 7, Florida State 3 now in the 7th. Now Harrison Didewick, the 9th man to bat in the inning. Florida State might be running out of mound visits. They're going to send Triple out to the mound. And again, trying to rush David Barrett to get loose. Link Jarrett is going to heel toe it out to the mound. And he has made the signal. So, boy, I'll tell you what, sort of working in reverse in terms of matchups, but obviously Armstrong forced the hand of Link Jarrett there as he, threw 10 pitches, walked a batter and plunked 2 batters. And that's the 3 guys he faces. So, pitching change for Florida State. Tell you more about David Barrett when we come back. Virginia 7, Florida State 3 in the 7th. New pitcher, the 4th of the game for Florida State and 3rd of this inning in the 7th. Cavaliers have scored 3 runs. Andrew Armstrong, the most recent pitcher for FSU, throws 10 pitches, faces 3 batters. He plunks 2 and walks another. And now David Barrett takes over, redshirt junior from Sarasota and JUCO transfer from the State College of Florida. His 11th appearance of the season, no record, a 4.15 ERA. Bases still loaded, 2 outs. And first pitch up and away. Slider missed, 1-0. To Harrison Didewick, left-hand batter against the righty Barrett, 6 foot tall, 198-pound righty out of Sarasota High School. The 1-0 now. Didewick swings and fouls it off of the catcher Triple. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Again, 3 runs home in the inning. Didewick is the 9th man to bat in the frame. And Virginia has Casey Sauke at 3rd, Luke Hansen at 2nd, Henry Godbout at 1st. The 1-1 downstairs, 2-1. Barrett is fastball slider, really good slider in the mid to upper 70s. But fastball right around 90, 91. 2 balls, 1 strike to Didewick. And he misses outside. Fastball away, 3 balls and 1 strike. The book has been closed on Montgomery, who allows 6 runs, all earned. And the pitch. Check swing. Yes, he did, and he helped him out. A fastball that bounced in. And could have been ball 4, but instead Didewick going to have to reset. With 2 outs and the bases loaded, full count, runners will go. Swinging a line drive down the left field line, slicing a fair ball. Bounces out into the corner. 1 run home, Sauke scores. Hansen right behind him, he will score. Here comes Godbout all the way from first, and he scores. A bases clearing double for Harrison Didewick, and the Who's have blown this thing open. 10-3 Who's in the 7th. So all 3 of the inherited runners score on 1 swing of the bat. Didewick's 3 RBI double. What a time for his first hit of the series. 5th double, and now 21 RBIs on the year. And Griff O'Farrell will bat for the 2nd time in the inning. Led off by flying out harmlessly to right field to start the inning. Now it has been quite the long layoff for Jake Berry, but presumably he's still coming back. Next pitch a called strike, 1-1. Didewick at second with 2 outs, the pitch. Downstairs, 2 balls, 1 strike. And all 3 of those runs charged to Armstrong, all earned. And the pitch downstairs. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Fastball missing. And a hitter's count for O'Farrell now. It's Virginia knocking the doors off in this 7th inning. A 6-run frame. And there is strike 2 called. O'Farrell tossed the bat. That one did look to be off the outside corner, but John Mang helping out the right-hander David Barrett a little bit there. Now the payoff pitch. Runner at second, 2 outs. Barrett deals. That one skipped in and gets to the on-deck circle. Didewick over to third base on the wild pitch. So ultimately ball 4, and all it did was make Barrett throw an extra pitch. There is another right-hander throwing. Brandon Walker is now loosening in the Florida State bullpen. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. Ethan O'Donnell to the plate for the 2nd time. All of this happening with 2 outs. O'Farrell and O'Donnell flied out fairly quickly to start the inning. And then Virginia has had now 8 consecutive batters reach. And a fastball up and away, 1 ball, no strikes. 6 of them have come in to score. The other 2 still aboard. Didewick at third, O'Farrell at first. 2 outs in the 7th. And the pitch to Ethan O'Donnell. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Well, again, this has been a very long layoff for one Jake Berry, who worked a 1-2-3 7th inning. Next pitch. Swing and a ball lifted foul out of play, 2-1. And you almost wonder, with Berry throwing just 9 pitches, is there any thought to bringing somebody else in? Obviously not the case with nobody throwing in the bullpen, but potentially save Berry for use again tomorrow. The 2-1, up and away, 2 balls, or 3 balls, 1 strike, I should say, but perhaps not after last weekend. Berry asked to work twice in the weekend, and the second outing not as sharp as the first. Hitters count for O'Donnell on the 3-1 pitch. Strike 2 called. Again, generous outside edge, but close enough for strike 2. So O'Farrell will be off with the pitch from first. Virginia 10, Florida State 3 in the 7th. The payoff pitch, here it is. O'Donnell spoils it off his front foot. And we will reset and do it again. 3 runs, 6 hits for FSU. 10 runs, 9 hits. Virginia has been the beneficiary of 9 Florida State walks and 2 hit batters in this game that have certainly helped the cause. Now David Barrett kicks, deals, and he walked him. Upstairs, ball 4. So make it 9 consecutive Virginia batters who have reached, going all the way back to this man, Jake Geloff. Geloff worked a 2-out walk off of the then pitcher Carson Montgomery. And that started the string of 9 consecutive batters reaching. Link Jarrett is going to make the move. And Brandon Walker is going to try and come in. They've had 3 different pitchers try and get the final out of the inning unsuccessfully. Brandon Walker is going to be the 4th pitcher of this 7th inning. Now we'll tell you more about him when we come back. Virginia 10, Florida State 3 in the 7th. Well, with Jake Geloff coming to the plate for the 2nd time today, or in this inning, I should say, as he is the 12th man to bat in the 7th inning for Virginia. The Wahoos lead it 10-3 and now face the 4th pitcher of the inning, Brandon Walker, redshirt junior and hometown kid from Tallahassee. And his first pitch, a breaking ball strike. And it's 0-1 to Geloff. Walked to start this massive rally. First 2 batters retired fairly quietly for Virginia's offense in this inning, but Geloff then started a streak of 9 straight who have reached. As the pitch down and away. And amazingly, of those 9, only 2 have been put aboard with base hits. The 1-1. Down and in. Oh, beg your pardon. Called a strike. And 1-2 the count. Geloff, Anderson, Godbout, O'Farrell, and O'Donnell have all walked. And Hansen and Sauke both hit by a pitch. Geloff now off the end of the bat, pops it up to short. And this should mercifully get Florida State out of the inning, and it will, as Carrion makes the catch. But not before. 12 men come to the plate for Virginia. 6 of them come home to score. And now at the end of 7 complete, talk about a different ball game. Virginia 10, Florida State 3. What a difference an inning makes. We go to the 8th, Virginia 10, Florida State 3. FSU is going to call back Ben Barrett. And again, presumably he will be the guy to make the start on the mound tomorrow, so maybe getting him off his feet for the rest of the day. As a pinch hitter in Cade Bush will come up for FSU. Right-hand batter against the lefty, Jake Berry. And the pitch just missed upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes to Cade Bush. For the season, Bush 9 hits in 34 at-bats. Pitch from Berry. Swinging a ground ball towards short. O'Farrell on the backhand. Steps, throws to first in plenty of time. And there's 1 away. Long layoff for Berry, but good to see him get that first out fairly quickly. Now, James Tibbs will be the batter. Virginia, 10 runs, 9 hits. Florida State, 3 runs, 6 hits. And Berry, who is now retired, the first 4 batters he has faced. Into the windup, the pitch. Swinging a ground ball into the teeth of the shift. Godbout from short right field. Gobbles it up, throws to first. And Tibbs is retired 4-3. And quickly, 2 down in this 8th inning. That'll get Jaime Ferrer to the plate now for FSU. Sophomore from Puerto Rico will dig in. He is 2 for 3 on the day with a couple of singles and an RBI to his credit. And Berry, the tall lefty off the third base side of the rubber, kicks, deals. And called a strike at the knees with a changeup, 0-1. I think it might have been a little bit down, but John Mang, over the last inning or so, has expanded a little bit. Virginia 10, FSU 3 in the 8th. The pitch. Swing, and he popped him up. Right side, looks like foul territory, and Anderson up against the wall. Has room, makes a one-handed catch as he drifts back away from the wall, and the inning is over. How about that for a quick inning from Jake Berry? All of a sudden, Virginia 3 outs away from locking down a series victory. First things first, a chance for a little more insurance. We go to the last of the 8th inning in Charlottesville. After 7.5 innings of play, Virginia 10, Florida State 3. Now, Brandon Walker, who got the final out for FSU in the 7th inning, is back out there to, at the very least, start things in the 8th. Virginia 10, FSU 3. Kyle Teal, Ethan Anderson, Casey Sauke, middle third of the lineup, scheduled to bat for the Hoos against the right-hander Walker. Redshirt junior and Tallahassee native deals. And a called strike, 0-1. His 4th year of baseball at FSU. Last year made 2 relief appearances but did not pitch after March the 8th due to injury. 0-1 almost hit him. Teal jumps out of the way. That one scoots to the backstop. And it's even up at a ball and a strike. Out of North Florida Christian School, Brandon Walker. And a guy who was very highly touted coming out of high school. Now the next pitch is over the inside corner, called a strike, 1-2. Never really has gotten the career fully off the ground for a guy that, again, very highly touted out of high school. Breaking ball, rope to right field. That is going to settle in for a base hit. Another hit for Kyle Teal. 2-hit day yesterday. He's got a 3-hit day to follow it up this evening. Now Ethan Anderson for Virginia. So switch hitter batting left, Anderson against Brandon Walker. Right-hander deals. Fastball high, 1-0. Fastball has been low 90s for Walker. 90-91 this season for a guy that has lost some velocity. And it's interesting reading reports from the folks at D1 Baseball about Walker, who, like I said, coming out of high school, as the pitch lined to center field by Anderson starting in, now going back, Ross basically retraces his steps, and Anderson is out number 1. Back to first goes Kyle Teal. Walker was up to 96 with a fastball, but that has come back down to earth. At times he can still touch 93, 94, but this season it's been really 90, 91. Right-hander from the stretch. Casey Sauke, the batter, the pitch. And over the outside edge for a called strike, 0-1. Fastball, breaking ball, change up for Walker, the 6'1", 222-pound righty. Former North Florida Christian School Eagle. The 0-1, down and away, 1-1. The number 7 right-handed pitcher, the number 24 overall recruit in Florida. Coming out of high school, he was the 2019 Dairy Farmers Class 3A Player of the Year as a senior. Pitch is swung on and lifted down the right field line. Racing over goes Rank. Does he have room? Looks like he does, crossing into foul territory to make the catch, but he does indeed get to it in the FSU bullpen area, which has been active. Brett Barfield has been throwing, although nothing overly serious. And now a pinch hitter for Luke Hansen. Travis Reefsnyder will get an opportunity. Virginia playing the matchups here in this 8th, leading 10-3. Bottom of the 8th inning. Runner at first base is Teal with 2 outs. The pitch, swing and a foul ball straight back, 0-1. Got a piece of triple on its way back to the backstop. Home plate umpire John Mang will walk a new baseball out to the mound. There is a lefty throwing in Virginia's bullpen. That is Matthew Buchanan. 2 innings already from Jake Berry and a 5-pitch top of the 8th. He has thrown 2 innings on 14 pitches. Does Virginia run him back out there to finish the job or go to somebody else? Virginia 3 outs away from a series win. The 0-1. Down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike to Reefsnyder. 1 hit in 10 at-bats. Does have 3 RBIs for Virginia for the JMU transfer. Again, Teal at first. He singled. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball diving down and in on Reefsnyder. And it's 1-2. Just the 3rd appearance of the season for Walker. An inning and a third prior to today. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 2 hits allowed. The 1-2. Swinging a line drive up the middle. Diving attempt by DeSatis. It's out of his reach. Teal around second. He'll race for third and be there standing up. Base hit for Travis Reefsnyder off the bench. Virginia has first and third with 2 outs. And Henry Godbout will be the batter. Oh, Harrison Didowick waits on deck, and maybe if it gets that far, that's when they would bring on Brett Barfield. Lefty continues to throw in the FSU pin. Righty against righty now. The pitch to Henry Godbout. Bounced in and gets away from the catcher. Triple. Here comes Teal from third. He's going to score standing up. It's Virginia 11, Florida State 3. Another wild pitch that leads to a run. And up to second base, Reefsnyder in the play as well. So Florida State pitching again have given Virginia plenty of help today, as that is now the 4th wild pitch. Florida State has walked 10, hit 2 batters, and thrown 4 wild pitches as well. And Walker, the high set, now the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a foul ball back by Henry Godbout. 1-1 the count on Virginia's second baseman. Reefsnyder at second with 2 outs. Florida State 3 runs, 6 hits. Virginia 11 runs on 11 hits. Now the pitch. Swinging a line drive, center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Into play and Ross around third, heading home. Reefsnyder. He scores standing up, making Virginia 12, Florida State 3 on the RBI single from Henry Godbout. He's got his 3rd RBI today and 17th of the season. The Who's lead is now 9 runs. With the left-hand hitting Didowick due, let's see if Florida State will go back to the bullpen, and looks like they will. So I think they want to give Brett Barfield an opportunity. And the freshman left-hander is going to take over, as Walker is done after an inning of relief. And we will tell you more about the new pitcher for FSU when we come back. Pitcher number 6 on the day for the Seminoles. 2 outs here in the 8th. Virginia 12, Florida State 3. Virginia continuing to tack on here in the 8th inning. 2 more home thus far. For Virginia, a runner at first base with 2 outs. And 2 home in the inning. Cavaliers 12, Seminoles 3. Harrison Didowick, the batter, to face Brett Barfield. Freshman left-hander is on for the 3rd time this season. Coming Georgia native out of North Forsyth High School. And a 6'2", 210-pound lefty to face Didowick. Virginia, the big 6-run 7th, and now 2 more in the 8th. Steps in, throws over to first. Snap throw, forcing Godbout to dive back in. During the pitching change, Florida State also changed center fielders as Jordan Taylor came off the bench to play center field. Didowick swings, skies one out towards center field, fairly deep right center, chasing back Rank, and back up against the wall. He makes a running catch for FSU, and that will retire the side. Didowick made a bid, but that ball tracked down by Trayton Rank, and now at the end of 8, Virginia 3 outs away from locking down the victory today and the series win. See if they can do so when we come back after 8 complete. It's Virginia 12, Florida State 3. Cavaliers will go back to the bullpen, 3 outs away from a victory and a series-clinching win. Matthew Buchanan takes over for the 3rd time this season. We've called number 25, the second-year lefty from Lebanon, Virginia, 6 foot tall, 185-pound southpaw from Lebanon High School, who made 17 appearances last year, just his 3rd of this season. He'll face a pinch hitter here in Jade Putz as the pitch called strike. And it's 0-1. Putz just 2 at-bats on the season. He's 1 for 2. And he bats in the spot for Trayton Rank. And the next one, check swing, but yes, he did. And the count quickly, 0-2 on Jade Putz. A redshirt freshman transfer from Arkansas and Kansas City native. Swing and a miss. Buchanan makes quick work of him. Putz is down swinging, and there's one away. It's interesting reading about Putz coming into the series, as his older brother is Carter Putz, whose name you might recognize, P-U-T-Z. Putz, starting first baseman at Notre Dame, one of the centerpieces of their College World Series run last year under Link Jarrett, now the head coach at Florida State. Cam Smith, the batter now. Swing, and he popped it up foul right side. That's going to get out of play, and it's 0-1. Carter Putz, now a redshirt senior at Notre Dame, and still the starting first baseman, even through the coaching change. Link Jarrett able to get his younger brother to come with him to FSU, but not the elder. Pitch outside, 1-1. Cam Smith, then it looks like another pinch hitter for Nander DeSatis, as into the on-deck circle, Titan Kamaka. Buchanan kicks, deals, and the 1-1 fastball missed upstairs. So 2 balls and a strike to the freshman third baseman, Cam Smith. And Buchanan ready again, the 2-1. Swing, and he popped it up right side. Anderson into foul territory, a couple of steps between first base and the first base coach's box. Makes the catch, and the Hoos are 1 out away from locking down the victory. Again, Buchanan, just his third appearance of the season. He worked an inning against Longwood and an inning against George Washington. And as I mentioned, now the pinch hitter, Titan Kamaka, 9 hits and 32 at-bats on the year. And a fastball from Buchanan downstairs, 1-0. Replacing Nander DeSatis, who had been 0 for 3 today. And now the 1-0 from Buchanan. Deals. Swing and a foul ball back. Count even up at 1-1 to Kamaka. Freshman from Orlando out of West Orange High School. Last year an all-Orlando Metro selection as a senior with the West Orange Warriors. So first appearance for Buchanan since that game against George Washington back on March 14th. The 1-1, swing and a foul ball back, and the Hoos are now 1 strike away. Carry on in the on-deck circle. Wood bat for himself, and he goes to retrieve that foul ball. Virginia 12, Florida State 3 in the 9th. And Buchanan trying to finish the job. Left-hander into the windup now. The kick and the 1-2 is just off the outside corner. 2-2. Did look to be wide, but honestly, the way that John Meng reacted, I thought he was about to ring him up. Not the case. 2 outs, bases empty. And Buchanan ready to go. Left-hander kicks, deals. The pitch is taken down, 3-2. As a breaking ball missed. That'll run it full to the pinch hitter, Kamaka. 281 hitter for the season. Does have a couple of homers, 5 runs batted in. So 2 outs, bases empty here in the 9th. Virginia leads 12-3, and the payoff from Buchanan. Swing, and he fights it off foul. So we will do it again, 3-2. So a credit to the freshman Kamaka with battling to the very end here against the second-year from Lebanon, Matthew Buchanan, who is ready to work once again. Lefty nods yes. Here comes the payoff pitch to Kamaka. And again, he fights it off foul. Extending this at bat with Buchanan. Virginia looking to go to 15-0 at home this season. 1 strike away from making that happen. Buchanan a deep breath. As now the lefty once again winds, deals. Payoff is lined but foul. And I believe this is about to be the 10th pitch of the at-bat to Kamaka. I believe since the count went full, he's now fouled off 4 pitches, which would make this pitch number 10. So a lengthy battle. And Buchanan deals. Swinging a ball driven to left field. That ball very well tagged. Didowick is back. He leaps. That ball is gone. Titan Kamaka with a solo home run on the 10th pitch of that at bat. And freshman, hey, not wasting his opportunities. And again, he's got some pop. That's his third home run of the season, makes it a 12-4 ball game. As Kamaka, third home run and 6th RBI. Now Jordan Carrion. Buchanan kicks, deals. Ground ball right side, this should do it. Godbout juggles it, now picks it up, underhands to first, and that will indeed finish the job. Virginia 12, Florida State 4, our final, as the Hoos have clinched a series win over FSU and stay unbeaten at home. How about a 15-0 start to the season in front of the home faithful? Once again, Virginia wins it by a 12-4 final score to improve to 21-2 on the season and now 6-2 in ACC play. Virginia, again, taking down the Noles with the big 6-run 7th and the 2-run 8th. 8 of the 12 runs scoring in their last couple of offensive chances. And once again, Virginia, 12 runs, 12 hits. 1 error today. Florida State, 4 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. Cavaliers, again, remain unbeaten at home. Now 15-0 and have won 16 straight at home, dating back to last season. And Florida State, with the loss, drops to 12-11 overall. They are now 3-5 in the ACC and 3-5 on the road this year. And Virginia will go for a sweep of the Seminoles tomorrow afternoon. It'll be a 1 o'clock first pitch. The starting pitcher for Florida State still to be announced. I have a strong suspicion it will be Ben Barrett, who has made 4 prior appearances, 2 starts. He would seem to be the front runner. It would either be, I suspect, Barrett or possibly also in the mix, Jamie Arnold, who has made 5 starts this season. We already saw Arnold work out of the bullpen yesterday for an inning and 2/3, so that would be a little bit surprising. But again, he's the other guy with starts available to go tomorrow for FSU. The numbers for Barrett, if he is indeed the guy: no record, a 2.79 ERA, 9 2/3 innings, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk, and an opponent's batting average of just 171. He started their Tuesday midweek game against Florida. And again, he has been at first base as the starting first baseman and actually hit cleanup yesterday, second today. He's been in the lineup, but expecting him to be on the mound tomorrow. For Virginia, we know it'll be Jack O'Connor, 1-1 with a 2.73 earned run average, 26 1/3 innings. He has struck out 25. He has walked 12. And for O'Connor this season, opponents hitting just 207 against him. He's allowed 19 hits over 26 1/3 innings of work. The win today to Kevin Jacksell, he is 2-0. The loss goes to Carson Montgomery. He is 0-2. A ball game that took 3 hours, 9 minutes to be played and was done so in front of a nice crowd today of 4,652 fans in Charlottesville. Hopefully another big crowd tomorrow. It is supposed to be a gorgeous day for baseball. If I don't see you at the ballpark tomorrow, hope you will join me for the broadcast tomorrow afternoon. We'll have that one for you locally on 1070 AM, 98.9 FM, and streaming anywhere on WINA.com. Of course, the Virginia Sports app. You can hear every game this season through the Virginia Sports app, as you might be doing right now. And again, hope you will find me somehow, some way tomorrow as Virginia goes for a sweep of FSU tomorrow afternoon. But with the win today, again, 21-2 overall, 6-2 in league play, still unbeaten at home at 15-0. That'll do it for our broadcast today. Big thanks out to everybody who helped make it possible. And for everyone involved, I'm Channing Poole saying I hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and I know you enjoyed the result. One final time, our final score from Charlottesville, Virginia. It was the 8th-ranked Hoos 12, Florida State 4. Until tomorrow, 1 o'clock first pitch. Thanks for listening, everybody.